Dark.
Anyway, last time on Shadowrun, they were following up leads about the short selling of stock in a mega corporation called Shadowrun and its subsidiaries. They managed to find out that a company by the name of Frankfurter Bank Verum was bankrolling another company by the name of Roll4It. Roll4It had something in mind. They were apparently going to somehow cause Shadowrun stock to massively drop, which was going to cause them to be able to gain a lot of money and also beat their biggest rival in the Allied German states, or pretty much the world in terms of heavy industry. This led them to figuring out that somehow a shipment of orichalcum, a very powerful magical reagent, was involved. That was being shipped to, apparently, a location in the SOX, which is the Saar-Lorraine-Luxembourg Containment Zone, otherwise known as the SOX, where a nuclear power plant went critical a very long time ago and sprayed the entire area of radioactivity, and then there's pollution, and now basically the only people who live there are people who can't escape because they built a wall around it, and of course some researchers from the Megacorps. Our team dropped in there. They met someone by the name of Horace, who happened to be working in the area. They then took down a spirit, which attacked them. They then took down a load of gangers that attacked them. Upon running away, the gangers were murdered horribly by a rogue flatbed truck commanded by Jade.
Hey, there's no proof of that.
Well, there is proof, but he's in the flatbed of the truck.
Yeah.
He's in the flatbed of the truck right now, so we're going to have to clean that up,
His name is Steve. He's French. It's pronounced...
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
Oh, yeah, Stefan.
Stephen. Stefan. Anyway, also Deadbolt couldn't join them because he was being attacked by basically awakened pollution-y warthogs. Not great at all. But he did eventually manage to climb up a tree and hide. We joined the group as they are just about to turn around from... They were driving south towards the Roll4It compound to investigate that. Then they decided to head north after interrogating Stefan. And then they were going to investigate a Catholic community nearby because Tag felt a kinship, considering that he is sort of maybe a priest. And with that, as they start to turn around, Horace turns to the group and says, well, I'm gonna go have a look at here. I haven't investigated Roll4It yet. If I find anything, I'll let you know if you give me your comm number.
Bye, Horace. Ships in the night. Farewell.
Did you get a copy of that data chip, Jade?
Oh, yeah. I'll copy that data chip. Also, this is a good name. How about Ghost Runners? Yeah? No? We just haven't found something we like, I guess. Night Stalkers? No?
That sounds a little suspect.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say something about tasering people in the throat, which Deadbolt did, and then I was like, electric throat, and I was like, that just sounds like a glam rock band.
Hey, something shock. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if I can copy the data chip before she leaves.
Reality shock.
I'm assuming I probably copied it when I...
Yeah,
used it, right?
you've got a copy. And with that, Horace gets down from the truck, leaving you a little bit more space with your captive Steve in the back.
Taser face!
And you head back north. Upon driving your... I wouldn't say stolen, because it was probably stolen already, so I would say your appropriated flatbed truck north a little way. You see the form of Deadbolt. Well, more...
I mean, I imagine...
Do they
have him? So you see the AR tag.
You have him on AR, yeah, exactly.
You see the AR tag. You don't actually see him until the very last moment, considering that you're actually looking directly at him, but he's incredibly stealthy and wearing a chameleon suit. And as soon as he sees you, as you drive past...
Oh, I'll
I can't
stop
see the
then.
thumb either.
Okay.
I'll
Deadbolt,
stop for Deadbolt.
You see a flatbed truck. It is scratched, battered. At one point, it was probably a sort of beige, but now it's kind of a deep, kind of old gunmetal with rust all over it in places. And on the front, the fender is all dented. The bumper is kind of hanging off on one side, and there are chunks of what appear to be like possibly human brain kind of wedged into the the grate on the front.
No, this was not the one that ran them over.
Well, this wasn't it.
No.
No?
No.
No, the one that was ran them over is over. It was like over in the bushes. Because remember, I like wrecked it when I like drove it in
which
there.
case
And
the
it
one
got
you
stuck.
see, doesn't have the blood and damage to the front. What it has is a crumpled door on the side, which is actually not able to shut. And you can see as it drives forwards and slows down, the door starts to swing open until someone catches it. And next to that door is like a big smear of red in varying shades of darkness, depending on, like, was it the liver that got punctured, was it the heart region, was it the oxygenated area in the lungs, which is beginning to dry.
I think the back is probably messed up too, because I ran somebody over in the back when I backed up with that one.
Yeah.
She's
Right?
like, don't forget any of the blood. I did
there's a
real
little
good
bit
work.
of blood on the back.
Don't forget any of the blood.
There's a small smear on the other side, and you notice that Tag is sitting in the back, Gatto and Jade up front, and Tag is kind of sitting over. I don't think he's unconscious at him. I think you've just got him tied up. Yeah, there's a guy in the back with, like, big kind of mohawk, glowing, like, tattoos and bits of, like, what appear to be, like, glow tape just fixed to, like, a leather jacket, almost like a workman's overall where it's fluorescent to try and avoid being, hit by reversing vehicles, which didn't work.
I thought Tag got upset and like punched him, knocked him out.
Do you knock him out again?
Nah, he's still awake.
No, he's
I
still
used an
awake.
influence spell on him
Okay,
eventually,
the
so he
last
probably
he woke
won't
up
shut
from
up.
the last time. Okay.
And he seems to be kind of muffled at the moment. He's not really talking, considering, looking at him, he looks a bit bruised.
Yeah, so as they come up, I say, "Oh, there you are. Where the hell have you been?" And then I see the blood on the door. I'm like, "Did you run into?" And then I see the person in the back. I'm like, "Oh, you made a friend."
Yeah, say hi to Steve. Get the hell in the car.
I'll hop in. Hi,
I'm gonna
Steve.
drive off.
I did, Bo. Steve's an asshole. I bump him with the butt of the gun.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. We got him speaking now.
He knows about 10 words in English, and most of them are "fuck you."
I'm pretty sure he knows about 10 words total.
All right. Have we made any progress while I was hiding?
Oh, there you.
Well, apparently we're going to a Catholic community to talk over there, so we'll see what happens when we arrive, but if I get lucky, there'll be like a bishop or something I can talk to.
All right. And what's with the blood?
We didn't get this truck friendly. It wasn't an equitable trade. I'll put it like that. We needed a vehicle. They had a vehicle. They also had the misfortune of shooting at us. More importantly, the misfortune of shooting at Jade. And now we have a truck.
Jade's kind of just like, she's a little just quiet, uncomfortable with the whole situation that happened, but because it all kind of in her mind happened so fast, and she was just like trying to do what she could to make sure shit didn't go bad. You know what I mean?
Killing glow punks happens so fast.
I'm just looking between them a little bit sort of concerned. And just stay quiet. Let him carry on.
What are we hoping to find at this community, Tag?
A little bit of intel. As far as I know, we still don't know where we're going. This sumbitch over here, I nudge his foot with my foot.
Yeah.
Says that they attack the communities around here. My hope is that we can trade his head for something we might need. I'm pretty sure some of these little governments and little states, city-states out here, they got all nice and established. Probably pay either a decent price for him, or at the bare minimum, it'll put us on the good foot with him if we turn him over.
And I got to figure out what's on this card that we got as well.
Are there any decals of the glowpunks on the truck?
Yeah. It's got little bits of, like, glow tape and stuff attached in some places that's starting to peel.
Gato, let's take a minute and clean all this gang-related crap off the car. I get the feeling we're probably going to get shot at if we try to drive into the community with all of it all over it.
Can do. So can I find a place off the road to park for a minute? All
It's
right.
easy enough. You park up, you just start removing bits of very poorly attached tape and so on, and it doesn't take you more than a few minutes.
Is there any white cloth or anything like that?
Considering that they don't really have washing machines around here, or sort of whitening, sort of fabric softener, no, the best you'll find is kind of a grubby, dark beige.
I just wanted to make like a little flag that says truce or something on the side of it as we drive into town.
I mean, is your underwear
Parlay!
white?
Pirates code!
Actually,
Parlay!
after jumping off
Just a
that
white
plane, your
flag.
underwear is definitely not white. No, you don't have anything white on
Actually,
you.
we don't need it. I have Trid Phantasm. We don't need that.
Let's
Okay.
get back on the road and keep going.
So you head north. It takes you the better part of about... You've already spent an hour going south and going north again. It takes you another hour to go north. So
While we're
you've been around
traveling,
it for about 3 hours. Sure.
While we're traveling, can I look at what's on that card?
So yeah, most of what I said last episode is on the card. It includes some discussions between Steve and a couple of the other Glowpunk bosses in the area, discussing the fact that they moved away down south to get away from demons and to better prey on other communities down there, considering the radiation has been making them a little bit sicker, so they had to move out of the area. With that, I don't think there's any extra information, barring some like back and forth amongst the upper level gang members. We also get the idea they're not particularly matrix literate. Like, the thing wasn't even encrypted, let alone data bombed or anything.
All right, cool. So nothing that really helps us too much.
Maybe. It's got a little bit of information, like I said, but beyond that, they're not experts. So yeah, it takes you... You've probably been in the stocks for a good 3 hours now or so.
How the Geiger counters looking?
Oh yeah, you wanted to turn on your dosimeters and your Geiger counters. Okay, you turn on the dosimeters and they start ticking up very slowly at the moment. The Geiger counter, you turn it on and you get a steady... There is a significant background count here. It's not enough that it will cause like some severe long-term injury currently in the area you're in, but it's definitely there. Certainly as you go north, it gets a little bit more prevalent as you sort of go into where effectively was downwind of the Cattenom nuclear plant. It starts ticking up a little bit. It's not dreadful right now, and honestly, I should be making you roll for radiation poisoning, but because of your amazing suits and you did a lot of prep beforehand, I'm just going to hand wave that and say, for now, I'm going to buy hits, and all of you are going to be fine for quite a while at this rate of radiation. So with that, as you make your way north, the Geiger counters look not great. They get a little bit worse. The map is about correct, and you go through areas where there are slight spikes, and that dips down again as you go around the edge of what seem to be localized pockets. And eventually you make your way towards where was indicated that there would be the Catholic communities. If you want to make me... Actually, you won't even need to make awareness checks of any kind, because Gatto, you've got the X2 up, haven't you?
Yep.
Yeah, so...
I assume we're using it to scout ahead on the road, make sure there's no one up there or anything.
Yeah, quite easily using the X2 because it's got thermal vision, night vision, all that jazz. You notice a small community up ahead. You notice the telltale glow of what appear to be buildings that are slightly warm. Obviously, someone has been heating them or using some sort of appliances in them to increase the heat of the building compared to the surroundings. In an area like this, is a really easy to spot. And you start noticing that there are a few people walking around. Most of them seem to be doing patrols or on guard. It is fairly early in the morning by this stage, considering you jumped in pretty late, so we're talking like maybe 1 or 2 a.m. But you notice that there are people there. They appear to be doing some sort of patrol routes or whatever.
Is there a dedicated road leading up to them, or is it just all like back dirt areas?
Not really. What appears that this village was effectively a village that was set up kind of along the main road. At one time, this village was probably one of those villages that just grows up between towns. And now it's just outside of the main urban areas, which people are just looting and which are kind of infested with nasty stuff. And instead is one of these things that's on a major transportation route, so they probably have some decent access to at least a road to be able to move around. But other than that, they don't really have a back route. If you could try, you could maybe try going around, but the problem is the back roads around here tend to be a bit iffy and blocked sometimes.
Oh, we're not looking at going around this place. I mean, is this our target destination?
As far as you can tell, you don't have a description beyond that there are Catholic communities in the area.
If this is the place we're looking for, we might as well just go up to the entrance.
Okay.
You guys have any idea how we should approach it? Looks like we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, I think I can help out with that. I'm going to cast Trid Phantasm, and it's going to be like a sign of the cross that follows the truck and also has a big white flag behind it.
Well, I'm going to go and be back in 5 minutes then, because I just need to do it one last time. But
go for
feel
it.
free to continue
Get
taking more Q&As.
Clear that shit out.
Oh man, I think I want to figure out if the conversation between the gang members in this card, if there's any, because he said that they were talking about how there's more radiation and it's making people sick and they have to move out. I want to see if there's any information on why the radiation has increased.
Yeah, Horace brought
That'll
that
probably
up
help
too.
us.
She said that the background count's gotten worse according to her investigations. And so something's going on here. I'm kind of wondering if the magic from the orichalcum being in the area is being corrupted and it's bleeding into the area, and that's why it's getting worse and worse. I don't know if that's a thing that can happen until EE gets back and I can make a magical theory check. I don't know. But
Yeah.
orichalcum, the size of a football, is going to leak a lot of magical energy into the astral, and in a corrupted area like this, it could be the source of it.
Yeah, what's the source? I guess.
Or what's
how do we
worse
want
is if
Go ahead. Sorry.
what's worse is what if they've brought more orichalcum here? All we know is that they brought that one chunk here. What if they're collecting tons of it here to do whatever it is they're doing, whether they're attempting to assassinate a dragon or whether they're attempting to like focus some kind of large magical spell? Either way, if they brought one orichalcum chunk here, there's no guarantee that they haven't brought even more over here too over the passage of time, and so maybe that's why there's so much magical energy getting corrupted.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they got any from the source that we saw. That was the only shipment that was out of the norm for them. But it's very possible they got it from somewhere else too. Yeah, I don't know.
From what you've known, because obviously you're using a lot of magic, what happens when you start using an excessive amount? Does that slowly accumulate into something? Like, would that have an effect on stuff?
Well, I mean, orichalcum itself is just an amplifier. You know how I use reagents? It's basically like a really, really big, ultra-powerful reagent. And so it's definitely possible, because this is a corrupted area, and casting using magic that's tainted or has corruption in it, it becomes dangerous over time. The larger the thing you're trying to do, the better the chance the whole thing will just be fucked over by corrupted energy.
What if they're trying to revive the dragon?
Firewing? That would be troublesome, because Firewing was
Yeah.
a psycho. Like, Firewing, I don't know if you know the backstory on Firewing, but Firewing was one of the only dragons that's actually insane. Like, Firewing is a feral animal. He just, like, almost destroyed all of Germany, just, like, flying around, like, burning shit and going straight Trogdor on it. And so, killing Firewing was, like, a massive military effort on the part of Germany. Like, it took a lot of effort to kill Firewing.
Yeah, but now he's here. So I don't know. That's a possibility. What's our plan going into this town then?
I'm going to use
What are you
Steven as a
thinking?
bartering chip. I'm just going to be like, hey, we have captured the leader of the bandits who have been bothering you. We are heroes. Answer our questions. That's basically the goal.
That's a great
Okay.
plan, but what if why don't we make sure that he doesn't have any information that we want before we let him go?
Well, I think we
Yeah,
got
I-
all the information we could get, right?
Yeah, we influenced him last episode, and he just started spitting out what he said that they attack hill communities and stuff like that. And aside from that, it just seems like he's an ignorant hill bandit. So I
Okay.
think our best use for him is just as a trading piece and just being like, here you go. That's our sign of good faith. This is the guy who's been bothering you and killing your people. Taken care of. Please help us. I think
Sounds
that's probably
good.
the best way to go with it.
So the people
So-
we're visiting, like, are we expecting them to be peaceful?
It
Nah.
could swing either way because they're in a war-torn area. So we know they're militarized. They're moving in patrols because they have to out of self-preservation. On top of that, they are aligned with the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church has pretty deep hooks. They've got their own military nowadays. They've got their own special forces teams and strike teams and whatnot. So my assumption is that at least somebody in here will have been dropped into the socks by the Catholic Church, either to monitor things or to act as a defensive barrier for the Catholic community here. Aside from that, luckily enough, you've got somebody who is a ordained father or an ordained vicar with you, so at least you've got one of the tribe with you.
Yeah.
think-
People were wondering if we could talk a little bit about how Firewing died, like lore-wise.
Firewing, it's a little sketchy for me because it's been a while since I played. The death of Firewing was talked about if you've ever played Shadowrun Dragonfall. That storyline is essentially how Firewing ended up being found, nursed back to health, siphoned off her energy, and then eventually, depending on the ending, you get killed. And so, I don't remember the exact specifics of Firewing, but I do recall there being a giant battle over Germany near the end where Firewing gets shot down and killed.
So when a lot of the dragons first woke up, they were in various states of being immensely pissed off because humanity kind of fucked up the planet a little bit. And of course, you kind of wake up after a long nap. Like, imagine you wake up after you've had a really good night's sleep, and you oversleep, and you're just a little bit groggy, and then someone's like poking you in the face. You're kind of like, what the fuck? And when a dragon does that, it may result in parts of countries being destroyed.
I'm imagining they're
Firewing-
just like, I went for like a 3,000-year nap and you've ruined everything while I was gone.
And
For crying out
Firewing
loud.
was one of the more originally, I think it's meant to be like Firewing's meant to be one of the more slightly peaceful, more environmentally friendly, like naturey dragons, and was so pissed that just was kind of driven a little bit insane, like not as insane as the normal like metahumans think. Firewing was generally a nice dragon, but nope. So pissed off, just started attacking things around Germany, and eventually Germany managed to take Firewing down, eventually. But it took a lot of time, and a lot of cities got burnt. But yeah.
In addition, nobody ever found Firewing's lair. That's one of the bits of canon, is that nobody's ever found Firewing's treasure hoard. It's out in the mountains in Germany somewhere.
Yeah, it was someone, I think there was a rumor about it being in the Black Forest where the Troll Kingdom is, but no one's ever found it. So that's kind of a one big thing that's left for people to be able to use as plot hooks.
There's a
That'd be
troll
cool.
kingdom?
Yeah.
Wow.
In Germany. It's the Black Forest. Right, so you've got a giant cross on the top of your flatbed truck.
Yeah, with a white flag behind it that says truth.
Yeah, one more thing that I wanted to search through in that
Can you roll for
conversation
attack
between
while
the
Jade does
gang,
this?
between the gang members. I wanted to see if there was any details or hints as to what was causing the radiation to expand.
They have no idea about causes of stuff. They're very one-minded people. They don't really deal with the cause. They deal with the effect and how it will suit them or how they will avoid it. So if you look at the conversation, it's stuff like, "Oh, the glow's getting stronger. We better move south," or whatever. Except, it's text because they don't even have a decent voice.
Are they
recordings.
dated? Are they dated or timestamped or anything like that?
They would actually. These was dated to about a month ago. Varying different ones depending on, because they're handing over optical chips, so the delay varies. Sometimes optical chips take a couple of weeks to find the recipient. So we're talking the messages start about 1-2 months ago.
Okay, about a month or two ago.
Can 3 hits, I take 2
cross-reference?
drain. And
Can
so
I
that
cross-reference that date with the date of the footage I got from when the orichalcum was delivered?
Sure. The orichalcum was delivered about 3 weeks ago, I think, off the top of my head, as far as you can tell.
So that means that our theory might not be right.
In terms of what you know, Splat, about orichalcum reagents leaking into the general area surrounding them, on a very mild level. The great thing about reagents is they are effectively stable. Orichalcum is so powerful, it would warp the air around it slightly, but not a lot. You'd actually have to be actively poking or draining magic from it. Now, if it was in a large background count, that's possible. Especially like a large negative background count will actually cause it to just be drained and sucked out. And there is a large negative background count around the Catanon plant, and there's a few fovae, which are basically astral tornadoes, which kind of roam the area, which do count as negatives. Notably, 2 very large ones of those are actually permanent. Normally these are temporary, like twisters. They appear and they disappear after a few hours. The 2 fovae around Catanon circle the area. Those are permanent. Those are I think the only 2 permanent entire fovaes on the entire planet. You would know all that because you have a THD.
I relay all this information just so we're all on the same page.
All right.
Let's
And
not
I
get
guess
too close to those twisters then.
I guess the thing for us
that'd be
is
bad.
I think, where are we at? Because
We're south of Trier.
we're okay, south of
Yeah, I do need to move your icon, I
Trier.
think.
Okay, Trier. We're going towards like Merzig. I guess like I want to look at, is it Thionval and Sierlewi? I want to look at all right, I guess it's the one V. Those 2 places and see if there's
Where?
any. It's like, I can't read it because there's circles and stuff in the way. I think it's Thionville and then Sierra Louis or Salui.
Oh, Saint-Louis and Thionville. Yeah, so what do you want to know about them? What are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking to see if there was any deliveries made to those locations, or what is in those locations.
Sure. Make me a matrix search. The very basic information should be publicly available. You can do this in like a 5-minute search as opposed to a hour-long search.
Okay, so not extensive.
Yeah, just make one roll for the basic information on Thionville and Saint-Louis.
Okay. 8 successes for that one, and then this is the next roll.
Wow. How many dice are you rolling?
You're getting the
6.
you're doing the same thing. You still have the what's called specialization on that.
Oh, how is that going on this? Okay, I can do it now.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you're rolling 11 plus 2, and you should be rolling 11. Okay.
There you go.
So 3.
So 3, and then I'll roll the next one, which is... Why does it default to yes? And then 5 for the second.
So Thionville was one of the places first evacuated after the Cattenom plant kind of blew. A lot of people there just straight out died. There was a lot of radiation poisoning in the area, and they kind of were like, yeah, we need to evacuate the rest of the area. Those people are too far gone. There's too much effort to try and go that far in. And they kind of left a lot of people behind when they evacuated the area. Saint-Louis was a bit more awkward because it's positioned nearer the German border, but they did end up evacuating there as well. Both of them are, as far as you're aware, and according to official records, empty, no one lives there anymore, etc. The only real position near them in terms of research or in terms of a official outpost would be the Evo research area next to Cattenom, but as you found out, that's been evacuated more recently.
Oh, was all of Evo evacuated?
The one next to Cattenom, yeah.
Wow, okay.
What were they... Can I figure out what they were researching exactly?
You can do an extended test on that one. It would be more complicated.
Okay, and then I'll want to unplug, and then we can go straight. That's what I've done while we were driving, and then we can go.
Yeah, that'll be like a per hour one. So yeah, if you want to start doing that per hour, and I'll let you know. And
then after that search, I want to unplug and then
Sure.
go in. I'll do 6. I'm always afraid I'm going to glitch. Oh, wow. Okay.
You're rolling too many die.
16 dice.
You should be rolling the 11 for your matrix. Oh, you rolled matrix perception? Oh, it should be matrix search, which is for you, according to this, 12 dice in your last test, but for some reason it's rolling 16 on that extended test.
But it's supposed to be, I thought.
What's your
16.
logic?
It's not updating right. My logic is 5.
Okay, and then it's plus your... Is it computing?
Which is 10. Data processing.
No, data processing is the limit.
It's computer. Yeah, computers.
Yeah, so...
Logic, computer.
It'll be logic
And
plus
then I have
computers
plus 2. I have plus 2 to matrix searches, and I have the plus 2 from the edit, or not the edit, the edit program, which also gives me plus 2 to data processing. So it's plus 4.
That's into data processing, it's not to the search itself, is it?
I also have another thing that's for searching.
Oh.
And I have browse, which cuts my matrix search action in half.
Okay. So you've got 5 plus your computing. What's your computing?
My computing is... That's under skills, right? Computer.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it should be, I think it should be intuition. Let me just double check on matrix search. It's computing plus intuition.
Oh, I thought it was logic. Well, that's awkward. My computer dice roll is 10.
Okay, so what's your intuition?
I guess my intuition's 4.
Okay, and your computing is... Do you know what your computing skills are?
That's why then. I have it as logic. Okay.
And how many programs have you got loaded on your deck? Because you can have... I think you can have loads with your deck.
I can have 6
Yeah, you're
programs
fine.
loaded.
When you're looking at computing, you should be looking at the number that's called rating.
Oh, rating? Oh, my rating's 12.
Yeah. On computing?
Well, I don't know what we're rating. What do you mean?
Under scientific skills, it's called, you have the skill name, so like biotech, chemistry, and then computer. And you have attribute, and the next one's rating.
Oh, okay, that's just 3.
Okay, so your computer is 3.
Yeah, so you've got 4 for your
Is
intuition,
she the author
3
doing this?
for your search, for your computing, which is 7, plus any of the bonuses you have. You said you have a +2 from one program and a +2 from another program, right?
Yeah.
So you should have 11
And
dice.
I can cut my searches in half.
And you cut
So
your
it's,
searches in
yeah.
half. You'd have 2 more if you were VR, but
13.
that would mean that you'd be.
So it's 13. It's 13, right?
No, you're not in hot VR unless you want to be unconscious for the next few hours.
Hot would be 15.
How are you getting +6?
Not hot would be 13.
Someone in chat says something about cyberware that Jade has. Giving a +2 or something.
Oh, too many things, guys.
We'll call it. What was it? It was 7 + 4 because I think you've got 2 programs. I can't remember what the third program would be. So we'll call it 11 for now, and we'll look into it later on.
Okay. So I'll just say.
But we'll
13.
also half the interval because you have a program that halves the interval.
Okay.
30 hits is still. Oh no, you rolled 13. Roll 11.
Oh, I thought it says it's 13. Okay.
Shadowrun
Yeah.
system is terrible.
There we go. So yeah,
That's
18 hits is still
painful.
pretty
Pretty
good.
sure it's 13 though. It says 13.
Losing 12 successes for getting rid of 13 dice. And actually,
Yeah.
no, it's like 25.
Yeah, one of
dice.
the +2 to data processing, but yeah.
But
So
still,
18 hits is
Ugh.
still pretty good. So with that, you will take 6 hours until that search is done. So you have to stay awake for the next 6 hours, but other than that, you're good because you're doing it via AR, so it's fine. Your
Okay.
time
Oh, that's
is cut in
right, 'cause
half,
you're-
so that brings it down to 3 hours. So you'll be done in 3 hours' time because the time is halved.
And then I'm gonna unplug and just because I don't want to get my Overwatch score too high. But
You can do that in 3 hours'
I
time.
do have fly on the wall, so my
Yeah.
Overwatch score only goes up by 1d6 per half hour.
Yeah, but it only goes up if you've triggered the Overwatch score to start ticking. You haven't, because you haven't done a legal action. So you're fine.
Okay,
Until
cool.
you do a legal action, then it'll start ticking.
Just want to
So,
make sure, you
don't
know.
worry, don't worry, you should
I don't
be good.
want to get wrecked again. That was horrible.
Are you doing
I thought I was gonna
something
die.
illegal?
She's
I
always
was
doing
gonna
something illegal,
die.
normally running people over with cars. Anyway, you get the flatbed truck going towards the village, which is kind of on both sides of the road as you go up. So you're going effectively directly through the middle of it, and it sort of twists and turns a little bit in places. But
They have like guards out front watching the road.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, they have guards on the edge of the town. You can't really tell which direction they're facing very easily without getting lower because the pollution and stuff kind of gets in the way a little bit, so you can't see perfectly crisp detail. But you get the idea that considering their positioning, they're probably watching the road. Note that your Trid Phantasm doesn't cast any light or anything, so it doesn't light up in the dark. It can be seen in the dark, but only if, something causes light to cast upon it, or they can pick it up on...
One of us has a torch, right? We can just tape it to the roof so it'll shine on the cross.
I've got a torch.
Yeah, you shine the torch on the cross as you go forwards. You've got this weird kind of... It's like someone brought a parade into the socks. You've got like the flatbed truck with like a big cross on the back and a white flag out the back and someone shining torches on it, and it's a weird sight.
I really hope Tag is in his priest outfit for this.
I'm in my combat outfit because I can't get out of it. Otherwise, I'll take that toxic damage.
Might want to do a
Looking
little
back
Trid
at-
Phantasm so you actually look like a priest.
I'll be okay. I'm on record.
Looking back at the display, I'm like, I feel like this is maybe not
Too
the best
garish?
way to present ourselves.
Tag, do you have a
We'll be
legitimate
fine.
sin?
Yeah. I'm actually with the church. It's my day job. So like
Do you have a legit sin?
no. Well, I have the corporate one. That would be my real identity. I have. Let's see here. Let me see what sins I have. And I don't think we ever talked about which one my priesthood would be tied to. In all honesty.
Then you're probably not on their official records because you don't have a legit sin that you'd use with them. You've got the one from Aslan, but you probably wouldn't be using that. You would have a job with them and they'd be happy to take you on because they've got these charity outreach programs and stuff and Shadowrun outreach programs. But you wouldn't be on official records because that might get them in trouble.
I figure I'd have to be somewhere though, because I run a parish. Like that's my day job. Is I have like my
Did you
own
have the day
parish
job
and everything.
perk?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I took it and I got no benefit from it either because I was maxed out already.
Yeah.
I just wanted it to
Did
be
you
for
have
the
perks
character.
for the win? I got that too. Well,
Okay, so it's you didn't
Well,
actually
my
pick it up
job.
because you couldn't pick it up, but it's flavor.
Yeah, I took
Yeah.
it. I took a -2 the same way, just even though I wasn't gonna get anything for it.
Okay, it's just flavor effectively, yeah. In which case, yeah, you're still not officially on a record somewhere, and technically someone else probably runs that parish, technically, but in reality you do. So yeah, as you go forwards, Gatto, you notice that people in the town are vaguely moving towards the direction you're coming from, and eventually,
Okay, well,
you all hear
do any of them like wave us to stop or something?
Before you get really into visual range of the people who are kind of trying to hide behind hedges and broken down bits of scrap or whatever, you hear a megaphone boom out. None of you speak that language.
Can anyone translate that?
what language is it?
It's French, I would assume. Horace was our translator.
I do have my Skillsoft subscription. My skill. Can I? That'll take me time to learn it, though, right?
Normally it takes you like one combat turn or a couple of combat turns or whatever. I can't remember the exact rule on the combat turns. But effectively, because of the slight delay, because where you are, if you're using... yeah, you can get a normal matrix connection here. It will take a little bit more, but we're still talking in a region of like 20 seconds.
Okay. Let me see what I can do, and I will, I guess, try to load up a French soft.
Okay, so you log on to your wireless. Like, who did you have the subscription with again?
I think I looked it up and I couldn't find the page.
We'll assume it's Neonet, because they run everything wireless around here. So you log on to like Neonet's servers and you start going, oh, the
It was
French.
12K Noyen a year, though. I think
That's per month.
or per month or whatever.
Yeah. And you start
Jay's gotta
downloading
get that
the
money.
French skill stuff to your brain. Very schnell. Schnell. Schaff wir schon.
It won't, like, I'll
doesn't sound
say
like
once
French.
we say, does anyone speak French? I'll say, we should probably...
A
But
bullet,
before
a
that,
bullet bounces off the tarmac in front
hold
of you.
on, I was talking.
Well,
I was
shit,
saying,
then
I
I'll
was
stop
going
the
to say we
car.
should stop.
Well, your talking was interrupted by someone shooting the ground in
Yeah.
front of the car. I'm stopping. And I'll
Yeah,
pull
I
off
was
to
gonna
the
say
side of
we-
the road a little bit.
I don't know, but we should stop before we worry them.
Yeah. Way ahead of you. And we're stopped. Off the side of the road a little bit.
Okay.
Tag, introduce us?
Ah, Jesus. I cross myself and I step out of the back and I say, we come in peace. English?
It's like when the aliens arrive. That's what you meant. We come in peace.
And with that, like, a small group of people, they look very ragtag. They're not even wearing proper body armor. You just see sort of things like old motorbike leathers, and even, like, one guy's got chainmail on. Some of them wielding, like, bolt-action rifles. A couple of them with, like, very old-fashioned assault rifles start walking towards you, trying to keep low. You notice that they're not particularly military, like, minded from their organization. They're trying to do their best. They seem to be some sort of ragtag militia. One guy with like this big mustache with like little turn up at the end, like he's waxed it a little bit. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Gatto, you understand that. Jade, if you're running your German program, you understand that. He's speaking
I'll tell him
German.
yeah.
Where are you from?
He wants to know where we're from, Tag.
Tell him we're here with a member of the Catholic Church and we've brought a gift to his settlement.
I'll relay that. We were here from the Catholic Church, and we have... What did you say?
A gift for him.
A gift for
the
you.
settlement.
A gift? They have gift. You have gift for us?
Yeah, we understand you've had some trouble with some local glow gangers. They've been raiding the towns in this area. Have you had that problem?
Glow gang. Make me a German roll. Intuition plus German. He's having to
God.
make some interesting rolls as well, because German is not his first language.
Communication's where it all breaks down, man. If people can't talk to each other, they can't understand each other. Can't make deals if you don't understand each other.
Someone's like,
hold
isn't it
on.
pronounced Jif?
Kicking that
The
war off.
gift in German is poison.
Geschenke.
Yeah, he's not
Three
saying gift in
success.
German. He's saying in yeah. 3 hits. Yeah, you're mostly understanding what he's saying. You're mostly trying to confer forwards the sort of the language you mean. He apparently is not picking up very easily though. You really do get the feeling that German is like not his first language.
Okay.
Not
How's that sour
understand.
coming, Jade?
We do not.
Ask him. Hey, Gato, ask him what language he speaks. What's his mother tongue, and we can have Jay download that software.
What language do you speak in this area?
Fuchsia, you don't understand the word. However, the word does sound like Luxembourg to you. It seems to be some sort of conjugated form of the word Luxembourg. You don't recognize that word though.
Okay, I'll send it to Jade. I'm like, try searching for this or something that looks like this word.
All right, I'm searching for that.
Okay.
What is it?
With that, it seems to be a German word that, with your rating 6, translates as Luxembourgish. As you search for it, you notice that it is a language that is spoken in, or was spoken in, a very small area of southern Luxembourg. Roughly where you are almost right now. The only place that really speaks this anymore is in the Socks, because the entire area and most of the language was where the Socks was. So, you find that not many places actually have the language on file, and on your subscription service there is like a rating 1 version. But because of the nature of the fact that no one really produces language software for it because no one speaks it outside of the Socks, you have a rating 1 version of it, so you can speak to them when you download that, but it will be very base concepts.
Okay, Luxembourgish. Okay. There's not a lot of options, but I can get you something that will at least make it easier for conversation. Not fluent.
Something's better than nothing.
All right, let me do what I can do.
They're having
All
trouble
right.
with German. And I'm
How
not
long
that
will
good at
that take
German
me
either.
to download?
Like another 10 seconds now.
Okay,
As they
10
get a little bit
seconds.
further forwards and they start getting around and they start going outside the area where your glare from your headlights is kind of blinding them a little bit, and they notice you've got full body armor on, you notice the response from them is some of them take like steps back and raise guns. Some of them like look back like they're considering fleeing. Like, this is some proper hardware. You get the feeling that they've changed their minds about you, that you're probably not some sort of glow punks, and now they seem to be
Hey.
legitimately like, oh crap.
Hey, Tag,
Nobody
maybe-
make any
maybe-
sudden moves.
Tag, maybe
Am I
they're
able to
familiar
turn
with
off
the
my-
Latin.
Sorry.
Tag, maybe they're familiar with Latin. You know some verses in Latin?
I don't know Latin.
No. Shit, in
You
the
could-
priesthood,
I would
they don't
say,
teach
because
you
of your
Latin?
background, you can make an intuition roll a -1. And you can
Yeah, there's
recite
no
some...
point. I'm gonna critically fail that. There's no way I'm making that roll.
Okay, fair enough then.
Am I able to switch off my camouflage paint stuff on my suit? Does that work?
I would say you'd have that off already, because unless you're specifically wanting to run with it on, it will drain power, it will mean more maintenance, so...
Okay,
unless you
yeah,
say specifically, it'll be off.
I'll have it off then, and I'll raise my hands where I am to show that I'm not going to suddenly shoot at them.
Aren't you in the truck?
Well, yeah, they
One
can
of them,
hopefully
like,
I raised-
goes...
I raise both my hands, and then I walk around the back of the truck and lower the truck bed, and I start dragging Steven out.
Bitches! Shoot him! Like, they all sort of pour around the back and start aiming guns at both you and Stephen, not sure what's going on. Jade, you can start understanding some of the base words. They go, he's got one of them! What's something, something, something? Asshole! Something, something, something. Fuck! Something, something, something. Corporate? Maybe they work for something.
So I pull Steven out of the back, and I
I'm
kind of
relaying this from like
push him
from text to
towards the
speech through
people.
comms.
and step backwards with my hands up, and I just keep saying the word that I heard Gato say in German for gift.
Geschenke. That's the word for gift.
Make an intuition roll.
You're just gonna keep yelling that.
Wait, who's rolling?
No, I'm
Back.
saying it calmly. 1 on 3.
You pick one of the words from Gato's language that he just said. You don't malform it particularly much, but you're not sure it was the word for gift. they don't seem to take much stock of what you say. It hasn't seemed to offend them or anything, but they also don't seem to really know what's going on. They just consider you to be just kind of eccentric at this point. However, they do, like, two of them rush forwards and they grab him. They seem to recognize at least what he is. And they start, like, huddling him forwards away from you. And one of them waves at Gatto and is like, follow! Follow! In German.
Thumbs up. Yeah, yeah.
I
I'll
said
turn the
thumbs
car
up
back
too
on.
once I see Gato do it. I'm just like, eh? I get back in the truck.
Yeah, let's go.
It's good. Mickey Mouse. What a life.
Yeah.
Go fly a kite.
Yeah. Kite, good. She's just waving you to follow. And it sort of brings you up effectively to what used to be at some point a driveway into what was maybe at some point a garage. However, right now, this building is missing half of its roof. The garage door is peeled off to the side and horribly rusted, like only half of it remains because it is rusted so much over the years. The actual buildings themselves around here are generally covered in mold. The outside facade has come off. You can see the exposed brickwork. A lot of the brickwork has got like damage to it. You can't even really see a front with any red brick or anything. You can see mostly what appears to be breeze block. Just from the sheer weathering over time, and no paint has been applied to protect it. Buildings actually, once you start giving them a few decades without any protective paint or whatever, tend to do degrade. You do see that some of the houses further back, away from the edge, do seem to be in slightly better repair. Seems to be some of them were crudely whitewashed, and that this whitewash has like covered whatever few bits of window are left. But they've made a job to try and prevent the houses breaking down too much that they seem to be occupying. There's also a kind of a makeshift wall kind of running across the edge, made out of trash and piled bits of scrap, just to try and prevent people from like just going straight through the town and ramming and raiding everything. You also notice as you go past what appears to be a couple of burned out houses that seem to be more recent. There's scorch marks, ready that hasn't been washed away by any sort of perspiration or rain. There's a field nearby which has got like stakes in it with crudely marked names, which you would seem to be the local graveyard. There's probably a good 70-something in there at a quick glance. And
Gotta
they sort
ask
of
if
motion you
they've
to
got-
park the car.
Ask if they have anyone that speaks English in their community. Just anybody that speaks English.
I'll relay that as best I can as I'm parking the car and getting out.
English, he says in German, speaking to Gatto, so it's, you know.
I nod and I say, apologies, but German's not my main language.
Moment. I'm going to try again to see if I can roll better than one hit.
I thought they were getting somebody named Mormon to come out. I was
See,
like, oh
exactly.
shit!
Don't know that for a second.
If he rolls poorly, he's just going to point to one of the graves. He's like, well, that guy used to speak English.
Shit!
You park up, and the couple of guys nearby with assault rifles stay there watching you a little bit awkwardly. Like, they've loaded the rifles now, and there are only two guys watching you rather than the rest. The few people in the town seem to have woken up and some sort of are crowding around you. You can see a vague...
They woke, yo.
Yeah, there's a vague sort of mismatched community here. You notice that people generally tend to be fairly young. You don't really seem to see more than maybe 4 or 5 people over what appears to be the age of 35 at a quick glance. One of the people watching you seems to be maybe 14, wearing, you know, leathers that are just way too big for him. Just chainmail over the top underneath his leather jacket, which is kind of going down to almost his knees. That was obviously a shirt on someone else. This assault rifle, he's kind of shaking a little bit as he holds it, kind of watching you. He is definitely a little bit on edge. The other guy watching you seems to be a little bit more grizzled, a little bit older, but you notice that he's kind of missing the front of his hand. He's got a tiny bit of his hand is left, but the rest is kind of scarred over. Looks like an old wound, and he's cradling the assault rifle with what appears to be a bit of scrap bent into a hook that's kind of strapped to his forearm. So effectively it's just a makeshift way of holding the rifle steady.
Damn.
Eventually someone comes your way. It's a man probably about 30 off the top of your head. He looks very weathered and tired, except for the one fact that his skin looks very, very pale and shiny. Like, you know, the sort of skin that supermodels would maybe pay to have. But other than that, he does look tired. Like, there are dark rings around his eyes. You see the beginnings of like a scruffy beard growing out in some places. And other than the
As he approaches,
very nice looking skin, he looks very, very tired.
I let the Trid Phantasm drop, and then I'm going to stealthily cast Increased Charisma on myself.
Okay, cast it.
Is it a -2 for stealth casting? I forget what stealth casting's penalty is.
It isn't a penalty for stealth casting. Effectively, it's whatever force you cast it at, it's 6 minus the force on a perception check to notice it. So effectively, you cast it low, and then you can boost with reagents, because that affects...
Yeah, I'll cast low. 5 hits, so that's a +4 to my charisma for now.
Okay, you cast that at force 1 initially, didn't you?
Actually, I have to cast it at force 5, so I can recast it if you want. It has to be equal to my charisma.
Well, you can make a sleight of hand check, because you did have a chance to kind of try and cast it on the other side of the car and a few things there.
Okay.
But with the nature of having to cast it that high, there would be, vaguely audible chants, etc. involved. And of course, for you, they would be vaguely religious, which is going to be interesting.
1 success on my palming.
You start intoning some vaguely... For you, they would actually probably be Latin. Probably the only Latin you know is the formula that make up your Christian theaturgy magic. I assume that would be the language you chant in, right?
Yeah, it's Christian theurgy.
Yeah, so it would be old school Latin. You just reciting certain Bible verses and so on, and intoning effectively what are prayers to angels and so on to bestow your power. And his eyes go a little bit wide, like he recognizes something there initially, and he goes, "No, no, 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 no! Don't cast! Bad! Do not! No!"
In English?
Yeah, in English.
I'm not. Hold on. It's just saying a prayer.
You bring
it's
demons.
All right, calm down.
You bring demons.
If there are demons, I'm here to expel them.
Do you finish the spell?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it takes effect. Mages not last long round here. There is effect. Spirits drawn.
I nod and I say, as long as I'm here, you don't need to worry about that.
Make a negotiate check.
At least we found someone who speaks English.
He speaks very
Yeah, on the
broken
plus
English.
side. 10
Whoa,
successes on 14.
Damn.
Holy crap!
He's never felt so calm in his life.
This guy, for some reason, not only does your spell get amped up somehow by the ambient mana levels and wash over him, but your words just somehow resonate with him. The fact that he saw you, even the fact that you chanted in Latin, that he recognizes somewhat a little bit of that. The combination that you apparently seem to be a man of the faith initially just from
I'm a
your
holy
spellcasting,
warrior.
combined
here to
with your
dispel the
amazingly
darkness.
amped up power, combined with your just silver tongue, and the fact that you said you're here to expel demons, this guy apparently just, he's like, you very well, hope you know what doing. Not good area. You bring punk.
Yes, a gift to your settlement. I heard he was bothering you and hurting your people.
Yeah. They come through, they torch buildings, they hunt people for sport. We take casualties. We have 3 dead.
I'd say his gang is dead now. You don't need to worry about him.
Thank you. He's kind of looking you up and down. You, just to describe the scene for people, you are currently next to a smashed up, damaged, rusted Vic with bloodstains on it. Most of you are wearing
I thought we cleaned it up.
You removed the glowpunk tape and stuff and all the decals, but it's still got a little bit of dry blood on it.
Okay.
Most of you are wearing full body armor.
I've got a fancy ass suit.
Gatto is wearing a fancy ass suit that has like a pull-up hood thing that zips up to the top and seals up and everything. So he's kind of like someone wrapped him in just a giant condom.
With the fedora, of course.
With a
You gotta be
fedora,
allowed
with a
that.
fedora on top. It's like someone went to
Oh yeah, he has
certain
the hat on
subreddits.
top. I forgot. He put the hat on top.
You've just been chanting in Latin, which he understands as some sort of prayer, but also you're a mage, which he understands as being a problematic in this area. And you've just brought him the guy who led the bandits who attacked his town. So this guy is... It's like you can see internal cogs whirring in his brain. And eventually they just kind of grind to a halt. He just goes and goes, thank you. He bandit leader. He killed old wise man run town. He murdered priest.
Oh, not anymore.
You're welcome.
No, we
Priest
executed
is dead?
sunrise. Yes, priest die.
I on purpose, I kind of exaggerate the motions of rubbing my face. Oh, I was here to speak with the priest, Catholic, vicar.
Yes, man of faith. They douse in petrol and light.
Oh my goodness.
This is like a Salem witch trial shit going on right now.
Well, I'm glad he's gonna be dealt with then.
So, do you have a church here? Can I see your church?
You saw on way in. Follow.
Sure. I follow
The
him
guys
in.
nearby kind of follow at a distance, but their assault rifles are now fairly far down. Apparently this guy has put them at ease, and as the younger man nearby kind of is still a little bit jittery, he turns around and he says, Jade, you get from that calm, friends, is the only few words you pick up from that.
Okay.
God, this level 1 software.
Well, it's a language that literally is spoken outside the socks. I went on the geography of like the different languages in the area. I was like, wait, this one isn't actually spoken outside the area, so no one would make anything. Oh, balls.
Yeah, we've just got like a gnarly regional dialect
Yeah.
that we've got to deal with.
It's fine. We'll live through it.
It's like going to Hawaii and you don't understand pidgin. Like it can be rough if you don't know what you're hearing.
Wait, I thought you just went there and you like sang the songs from Moana and everything was fine.
Definitely
there you
do
go.
not do that.
That's what
Definitely
you
don't
do,
do
yeah.
that in certain neighborhoods.
I see what's happening here.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
but he walks you down the road like 20 meters and points up one of the burning buildings that you saw as you came in. There, church.
I'm gonna go in. I'll be back in a moment. I walk over to the church, and how bad is it? Like, how burnt down is it? Like, is there still anything standing, or?
Well, most of the buildings in Europe are brick, but it's got most of the walls intact, but the roof is gone. Whatever timbers were holding the roof up, they weren't in a good condition to begin with. The roof is just collapsed in. Effectively, it's just a load of charcoal inside of a brick kiln now. A brick kiln that used to be a building. You notice
Okay.
that there is a small patch where there's like a blackened gunk. Bits of charred something organic.
Do I see any bones or anything sticking out of it, or was the heat hot enough to cremate those too?
It looks like make a intuition plus survival check. So that's your normal
Tuition
survival.
plus survival.
There's only one bit of sign language you need to know.
2 successes on 3.
Yeah, you notice quite easily that as you walk in, although you've scuffed it a little bit, there are tracks that someone has walked in here and removed something from the remains of the building. It looks like whoever was here pulled the body out and has probably taken it somewhere, probably to bury, considering this seems to be a god-worshipping town, and they probably wouldn't want to leave the body of their vicar in the church.
Sure. I walk back outside, or at least if I didn't go in, I turn back around, and I go back to the team and I say, I think I may have expected too much from this little adventure. These people are in a rough way.
That doesn't mean they don't have information.
Rough.
And at least, if anything else, we can have a safe place to stay for the evening.
Safe? No, we have no money here.
No, no, no. Gato, do you speak German?
You're not asking me that, are you?
No, I'm asking the guy if he speaks German.
German, eine bisschen?
Gato, tell him we need a place to stay for the night. And, well, I'm worried that it's a tad provincial out here. I don't know what they're going to know. But either way, we can get a good night's sleep in and leave in the morning. But if you've got any lines of inquiry or anything you wanted to ask them about what we're doing here, I'm not even sure what they can provide. This is definitely more ramshackle than expected. I can't believe people
Okay.
live like this. I say as I look around.
As you're just rambling on, I'm going to start asking the guy if he has any place we could stay for the night.
Make a German roll. I'm just waiting for you to crit glitch.
It'll happen.
I feel like even then, though, it wouldn't be too bad because of the crazy roll earlier of 10.
3.
Yes, beds, yes, and a bed, yes. We get food. He's talking to the entire group in English. And he turns back to
As
Gato. We get you bed and food. You bring goodness. You bring vengeance. You bring justification. We take Old Testament on punk.
I think he's just said he wants to go medieval on that guy.
He's getting biblical on this dude. As we're walking, I hand Gato the cred stick from the gang that you said had like 1,500 on it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I say, Gato, tell him that's a gift from the Catholic Church.
Sure. Do you have a leader around here? Someone who takes care of the community?
Yeah, that would be me.
Well, then, on behalf of the Catholic Church, and I'll hand him the cred stick.
Yeah. Danke. He kind of looks at it a little bit confused for a second, then. Jade, you get something about bring the mobile, bring the phone.
Bring the phone. Summon the phone.
This woman runs
Bring
over.
the town
with,
Summon the
phone.
great phone.
This woman runs over, like, effectively with what you would recognize as, like, a laptop. Like, a 30-year-old, like, small deck of some kind.
That's their phone.
And hands it to the guy, and the guy, like, plugs the cred stick in, and it takes a few moments of turning it around, and he, like, presses a button, and it starts whirring.
You make USB sounds, though.
Moment. Take moment.
Can I help
Sure.
him?
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.
At least it's not starting up with modem sounds.
Don't smack it. You're going to make the hard drive skip. You're going to make the needle hit the platter. No.
They don't use platters.
And then the screen changes and lights up, and he enters some combination of keys, and then 1,500. He's kind of shocked at this. Thank you. He starts pulling out, like, reaches in his pocket and pulls out something, and he starts handing you bits of paper and like little chunks of what appear to be like blocks of metal.
Was ist das? What is this?
Make a intuition +3 roll. Or logic if you want.
Intuition plus what?
Intuition +3 or logic +3.
Oh.
Any of the group can do this actually that sees this.
Oh.
What was the
Intuition.
test?
4.
Intuition or
plus
logic
what?
+3, whichever one you want.
Oh.
Okay.
Logic +3.
Just 1 on 6. I'm sorry, 1 on 8. Bad roll.
Tag, you're not sure. You didn't get a good look.
Why did it do that way?
Everybody else who get like 2 or more hits, this is hard currency. This is money. This is like 50 years old or so, at least.
Why did I need to roll intuition for this?
No, yeah, you
Taking
instantly
it,
know. Debo, you recognize this. These are euros. And the guy's
like,
just
oh,
handing
I haven't
over
seen
like
this stuff in
large
years.
denomination euro notes mixed with small denomination notes. Like he's just like, thank you, thank you.
I just hand it
No,
back.
no, no,
I
no,
hand
no,
everything
yeah.
back to him. I'm like, this is not necessary.
No. Yeah.
We came here bearing gifts to aid you if we can. We're not here to take your money.
Gotta make an etiquette roll at +3. No,
could I
+5 it would be.
could I update their laptop too?
You couldn't really update it because there's no updated software to upgrade it to. Like the update would be to throw the laptop out and give them a new laptop. It's like if someone handed you like a punch card, like typewriter of some kind or whatever. But what you could do is because you've got the block, the big ass block that allows you to interface with old Matrix technology, you could try and bug fix it and make it run better because you do have that block. So if you wanted to try and offer to do that, you could. 3 successes. The guy is like, thank you, and he goes forwards and he tries to hug you, Gato, and he's not exactly sure how. He's like, he claps you on the arm. Yeah, you stay at my house. You stay at my house. You meet my daughter. We have dinner. We get out real food. We actually have provisions that we save up. We put on fine spread. Thank you.
Sure. We have water in the truck. Tell them we've brought clean water in the truck. It may need to be boiled, but it's mostly clean.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did fill up some of the old gasoline things, didn't we? Cool.
Yeah.
I'll point to the truck and tell them, yeah, we have like 2 big canisters of water.
Wasser.
Roll me German for the word not irradiated.
Not irradiated.
Gut Wasser.
That's not exactly common lexicon for someone with 2 German. Nonetheless, you managed to say, not bad, not poisoned or whatever. You don't exactly get the exact technical term, but you get it roughly right, and he gets the concept, and he's like, thank you. That help. It been dry for little while. That will help supplies. We have some water, but this will help. Thank you. And he gestures to like the 2 guys who've been watching with assault rifles. He just gestures them to pick the tanks up, and he then like effectively dismisses them. What you get from the body language.
I'm gonna point at the laptop and say, "Can I help? Make faster?"
Oh my goodness! What is the translation software going to do with that?
It's stationary. It not move.
No, work better.
He just hands it over to you. He's like very protective over it.
Here comes the critical fail. Please don't critically fail.
Shh! Don't have more faith in me.
We
I have faith, but this
we
is one of
only
those
have
critical
one.
junctions.
That is group phone. Don't damage.
Group phone.
Oh god. Okay. What do you want me to
this
roll
thing is
for
still like 30 years ahead of our current technology.
So I'd say it would take you about an hour to go through and like get used to the old Matrix protocols again, etc. The device you have will help, so you can actually do the test. I would say it would be a I'd say it would just be a Matrix computer plus intuition. No, computer plus logic. Computer plus logic and limited by your data processing. This will take you the better part of the hour.
Okay, so like 11. Would extended?
No, just one roll. It's not hard enough to be an extended roll, sadly. It's a bit outdated.
Oh. Snap.
Just the first roll will do. It's not an extended test, so yeah, you get like 7 hits on the first bit alone, and it takes you the better part of an hour. But you quickly sort of get to the like, oh yeah, this is really old school. Like this coding is older than you by quite a margin. You actually have to like
That's probably exciting for her, actually. She
Yeah,
probably
like
loves
you sound out a
challenge.
few of the words and stuff and some of the terminology encoded in the files. Like you're not used to the old hacker lingo. Deadbolt, make me an intuition check.
Oh my gosh, sounds like it's running Windows 98,
Two.
isn't it?
No, it's running 2000.
It's got ME.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got ME.
Oh God,
Um,
no.
Deadbolt, this is younger than you. You recognize a few of the bits of lingo, and you help Jade out with just that's old Matrix lingo for this. And between the two of you, just being able to pass it back and forth, Jade, yeah, after quite a while, you get the system running quite a lot better for its limitations.
I grabbed for the hour that she's doing this, I grabbed the rating 6 med kit out of the truck, and I tell Gato, if he has sick, bring their sick to me. I'll work on him for a little bit.
Because she can plug into and do this via her cable. She can do this while walking around and interacting to a certain extent. So
Okay.
we're going to continue with the time, and you can do that in a minute if you want. But as he's like looking at Jade a little bit awkwardly, and Jade plugs into a box, and her box plugs into that, he's like, "We go get food. Food, yes. Food. You hungry? You." He's looking at the three of you who are in full body armor, who he still hasn't seen. He's just like, food.
I click the seal off, so there goes ching, and it pops open.
As that happens, you get a full whiff of sweat, of burning charcoal. There's a smell in the air it's weirdly sickly and acrid and makes you claw at your throat a little bit. You've probably smelled it before. It's a smell of burning human or burnt human flesh. Along with that, in the background, there's a horrible acidic tang that kind of burns your nostrils, which is your experience. This would be some sort of pollution. Like you've been in fairly polluted places before, and this is again not a nice place.
I'm
Yeah,
Oh, and I
gonna
don't
see
have
if
to take
I
off-
notice this.
I don't have to take off my helmet. I actually have. Remember, I got the add-on on my thing.
What, Adam?
I just want.
On my suit, I wanted to be able to have a cable that I
Oh
can
yeah,
just
yeah,
track.
no, you don't take your
outside.
helmet off, but Tag's doing it so he can be like, "Hi, I'm a person." Sorry, Gatto,
Gotcha.
you're muted.
I think you're muted.
You're muted, Chen.
Oh, sorry. I was rolling there to see if I noticed Tag's reaction to the smell.
I don't think Tag was trying to hide it, were you?
No, it's fine.
I'm gonna keep my mask on then.
Deadbolt, grab the Geiger counter. Let's see if we can find trouble spots in the city where pollution, radiation, whatever is higher, so we can avoid those. Maybe let them know.
Oh, well, it's
Um,
kind of a large village that's sprawled across the edge of this road. It's not really a town or anything. Like, it's probably only about 300, 400 meters long from like where the houses start to where they stop being regular at all. It's not particularly large. Any larger would
Okay.
make it too easy for people to sneak up on them. So they've got an area which is about the right size for them to be able to defend.
I hold up the rating 6 med kit and I say, we'll eat with you after dinner. Bring me sick, ill. I point to the med kit.
I'll translate as best I can into German.
Yeah, for a moment the guy looks really confused and he's like, yeah, krank, yeah. We eat first and then yes, we take you to injured. Tag, make me an intuition plus willpower roll. Actually just intuition. Plus perception, sorry.
Okay. So perception, and then we'll do that with intuition instead of... Oh, good. Intuition and agility are the same, so we'll be all right. 4 successes on 9.
You feel a weird cold shudder pass through you.
Like a magical cold shudder, or like was it his wording, or what set that off?
It feels like something astral just walked through you. You've experienced this before being a magical person.
I astrally perceive very quickly. I'm going to sense.
You notice standing very close to the party and flying around you is a group of what appear to be... You would say they were almost watcher spirits, except for the fact they're not really bound to anyone. Like, they aren't created from someone's will. They seem to be natural spirits. But they are very low power, and they are following you of interest.
Mm,
Making a sensing roll.
sure.
I'm going to assume that these spirits are not a good thing.
2 on 9.
Yeah, you get about what I told you. You can't really figure out much more about them. So far, they don't seem to be doing anything powered, as far as you can tell, directed at anyone or even themselves, as far as you can tell.
I drop the charisma spell and watch them to see what they do.
They stick around for like another 30 seconds before starting to lose interest.
I nod to myself. I don't tell anybody about this, though.
Okay. The rest of the group, you can make perception rolls to see if Splat looks weird while he is sensing and looking in random directions.
Oh God, not this shit again. Oh my God.
Oh my god, yeah.
Ooh.
Gatto, you've seen Tag sense before. In fact, you remember trying to get away from Aslan, and he would look over his shoulder and kind of focus on the middle distance. Yeah, you know he's a sensing. You've experienced this quite a few times. Jade, you notice Tag looking a bit odd and looking around, but you don't think anything of it. Deadbolt, you get the feeling Tag's looking for something, and he's kind of zoning out. You're not sure. Gatto, you definitely know what's going on.
Well, I've seen him do this so many times. I mean, if he wants to tell me about it, he'll tell me about it. If there's a problem, there's a problem.
Yes, dinner. Fine feast. We get our best of foods.
Thank you for your hospitality. And I follow him.
Okay. He kind of leads you towards house in the middle, which has been the one that was more freshly whitewashed. Most of it's boarded up in terms of windows. There is one window that actually still has a window pane, although most of that has been whitewashed around the edge to the point where there's only about half the windows really transparent. He kind of leads you in, and as soon as he goes inside, this girl runs downstairs and goes, "Papa! Papa!" and stops immediately upon seeing the group. Only one person of whom is showing a face, one of whom looks like they're wrapped in cling film while wearing a suit, and the other two of whom are in full body armor still.
Is there a way of making
Demons!
it so the visors see through?
Demons!
I smile. I smile and I motion to the as of yet unnamed man. I say, daughter?
Yeah, it's Emily, it's fine. Jade, you get don't worry, something, it seems to be maybe a word to do with royalty. Don't worry.
I reach into my bag and I pull out one of the ration packs. You know how rations always have like M&Ms or like some kind of chocolate bar or something inside of them? I break off I'll just take the whole bar and I hand it to him and I say,
you've got a choice of ration packs. Did you want normal ration packs, cold weather ration packs, or warm weather ration packs?
I would just take whatever standard.
Standard, yeah, then in which case they'll have chocolate in them.
So I hand the chocolate bar to him and I say, for your daughter.
I think you broke him.
Thank you. Hey, Emily. And she holds it for a second. She's not exactly sure what it is. You just see she's really confused.
This is like that scene from like The Road or whatever that movie was with Aragorn in it, where he gives his son like a Pepsi for the first time, and his son's never had anything sweet like his entire life. She's like, "What is it?" And then when he drinks it, it's just like too sweet.
That's
because
one of the
he's
few
been eating
films
bugs and
that
shit.
I projected, but I didn't watch. I spent that entire film in the back room doing work. So I caught so little of it. But she just like looks at it for a moment, she's like, pulls the wrapper off, sniffs it, and like licks it. She's got getting chocolate all around her mouth. Like, oh,
I chuckle when I see this.
I message to the others, I message to the others, I think they can use their food more than we can. I think if we're going to eat anything, it should be our own food.
With Deadbolt, I mentioned Batch, we don't know their culture. Turning down a meal might be an insult, especially if they're breaking out the good stuff. I'd be concerned that turning it down will insult them.
Make an etiquette roll.
We should at least contribute something of our own.
Plus etiquette. But it's 3 because it's not specific but universal.
So that was intuition plus etiquette?
Yeah.
Okay.
-3.
So I'll go intuition. We'll call that a -3.
I failed.
1 success on 8. I'm sorry, 1 success on 5.
Okay. Deadbolt, from what you know, like, maybe bringing food is a nice gesture here, because you brought food from outside, they don't have to rely on their own supplies, but at the same time, maybe turning down a meal would be bad form, you don't know. Tag, you get the general gist that turning down a meal from someone who has so little but is offering you so much, it could be bad form, it depends how you would phrase it. Like, you've already given them so much, at some point they will want to do something to give back just to try and even the score in terms of just a friendly sense, but
yeah,
beyond that you can't really tell, it depends how you phrase it.
I explained that to Deadbolt just real quick with a text message through AR that, like, it might be a good idea. We can reimburse him. If you feel bad, drop a cred stick on accident somewhere, you know?
We could contribute some of our own rations while still eating some of the food they provide.
Yeah,
I just
sure.
don't want these people to starve just so we can get a semi-nice meal.
I'll start pulling the chocolate bars out of each of the ration packs that I have, because I have a backpack full of them. And I bind them together with a rubber band.
You have like loads left in the car because you couldn't carry all your kit with you, so you've got loads in the car. So yeah, on you probably have, like, each person probably has like 3 ration packs. So you've got like 3 chocolate bars each if you want to dump your chocolate bars here.
Yeah, I take the rest of the chocolate bars and I slide them across the table and I say, trade, eat, whatever you'd like. We have plenty.
Thank you. And he just like looks at the chocolate bars, and the girl just looks at them and is like, and she grabs 2 and just rushes upstairs, just holding them to her like someone's gonna steal them off her. She's just like, ah! Just rushes with them. He goes, I think you make friend. She pleased. Come, sit. And he gestures to the dining table, one leg of which is being replaced with like a bit of just kindling or something that's been strapped to a damaged leg on the table.
I tell my helmet on AR to disconnect from the seal so it goes tss, and then I can take my whole helmet off, because you don't eat at a table with a hat on. It's rude.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll take my helmet off too.
Debo, you experience the same.
I do the same.
Nauseating. Yeah, Jade, you experience the same nauseating as well.
Roll for nausea.
Not great. Gatto, are you unsealing your suit?
I have to, yes. Just the top part, though. Just the top part. And I'll put the fedora back on after.
Yeah,
I'm
you
done.
kind of roll the kind of the weird front hood thing back under the collar as well. It's a weird combination, but it works. And he comes out the back room about 2 minutes later, and he's got some damaged plates, kind of like tin plates that have been bent and damaged around the edges. It looks like they've seen a lot of wear. And he puts them down. On each of them, you have what appears to be a bag with like a barcode on it and an RFID tag and some sort of stamped writing in German. He also
What's it say?
You would know. It says, your one says dumplings in gravy, emergency ration pack. You look around and you see that Deadbolt says hamburger and beans. Tag says all English breakfast, and Jade's is beef pie.
As he sets it down in front of me, I say thank you.
Yes,
I'll translate for everyone.
We get these in drop two months ago. We save. And he looks kind of crestfallen when he was talking about it. They occasionally drop provisions in goodwill missions, etc. We have to fight bandits for control of supplies. We lost my father and one of my sons in this fight.
I cross myself and I say something in Latin that's regarding the last rites or something like that. Just like a calming gesture, essentially.
Yeah, Jade's like, my condolences.
Thank you. I don't understand that word, but thank you.
Well, she says it in German because she has.
Oh, yeah. In which case, he probably just about understands that word. It's like, danke. It's hard. We've got about 3 or 4 languages being spoken here. This is fun.
Yeah. This is one of those international convention type things, like when armies that are allied run into each other and somehow they have to like communicate with one another.
Man. But yeah, he kind of sits down and he passes out little like mismatched glasses. Like they're not really glasses; they're mostly like mugs and stuff that have got no handles anymore. So you have to treat them more like tumblers, filled with water. The water looks a little bit like dirty, like slightly like there's a touch of silt or something to it. But it seems to be completely clean as far as you can tell in terms of drinkability.
Do we have iodine pills or anything like that in our survival bags and our survival gear?
You did specifically get some stuff. I would say you would have like normal doses of iodine pills for about 2 weeks each or something. No, probably a month each. You probably just got enough supplies because you did go all out, so you've got a load of iodine pills.
I don't want to insult him, so I'm not going to drop the iodine pills in. It was a thought that crossed my mind.
Oh, decontamination tablets. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you meant like
tablets.
anti-rad, basically an iodine that would bind to your thyroid and prevent the uptake of radioactive iodine. Yeah. No, those,
I assume we have
each,
that
each,
too, but
each ration pack will have, I think, 3 of those, enough for purifying about 4 to 5 liters. But as he places them down, he's like, "We get water from cloud, rain, and then we condensate using to make clean. Not great, but it's good enough. We get some cleaning agents and stuff, and we try and reserve those for times when we cannot clean water as normal."
Sure. I take a drink in good faith.
Sure, it tastes a little bit gritty in places, but as far as you can tell, it seems to taste clean.
Okay.
Do you just have dinner and make small talk?
Sure.
Well,
Yeah, I wait for
other-
him to seat himself because you always wait for the host to sit down and then
Other than
break
small
open the
talk,
ration
I'm going to
pack
keep sending messages over to Tag and AR, being like, try to direct him towards talking about rare metal or that area.
Sure. During the course of the conversation, I'll try and direct it towards we're investigating an increase in like the pollution, has something to do with rare metal. Where needed, I'll have Gato jump in and translate if the concepts get too complicated for his limited English, stuff like that,
Make an etiquette roll.
Yeah, and I
see
can
how...
send you translations also.
Yeah, so make
through.
an etiquette roll. I would say normally you have a massive minus because you're trying to translate through different languages, but because you've got 2 people aiding you, I'll say it's just a -1. But you've also got a +5 considering how friendly he is towards you at the moment. So you've got a total of a +4 on this. So negotiate has
Okay.
a +4.
Oh, negotiate or etiquette?
Sorry, etiquette.
4 on 14.
Yeah, so with that, you manage to get the conversation towards the corporations. He doesn't seem to know a lot about the different names of the corporations and where the different ones own, but he gets general compounds, and you manage to say, the one to the south, the one to the north, etc. The general gist you get from the one to the south, which is a rare metal compound, is that they don't tend to really spend much time around there. Those that do tend to be shooed away by the guards because they don't like people effectively compromising security perimeter. They don't tend to be particularly badly treated by them. Occasionally some of the guards sneak them extra bits of rations, etc. The guards generally have the gist that they lose some of the rations in transit, and a few of them make sure that they get into the right hands. That's actually where they get about half their supplies. Is a few well-meaning guards nearby who manage to just lose bits of equipment. It's how they get some of their ammunition as well.
Can we get the names of these guards?
Sure. One of them is called... I was literally about to name one of them Steve Rogers for a moment.
How about Steve Irwin?
He's not Australian either. He's probably German. It's rare metal. We're going to call him... I've used Lucas way too much already. Frederick Heisenberg.
Okay. My hope is that if we can get a couple of the friendly guards' names, we might be able to work that into the plan somehow. It seems like they have some level of empathy for the people trapped outside.
And he gives you a comm code that he has for him, which he has, of course, to dial him up on the damn laptop, which Jade starts finishing off in a second. Beyond that, he says that Okay, I need both Gatto and Jade to roll your respective languages here. So Jade, you're rolling your intuition +1 because you've got a 1 rating in Luxembourgish at the moment. Gatto, you need to roll your German.
3.
Okay. Two hits. So, Jade, he refers to demons in terms of not using magic, or you get hunted by demons, etc. And he also says that demons have been more active to the west. Gatto, you notice when he's talking about demons, he's using two different words, or he's using words in two different contexts. It's odd. It's almost like he means two different things by when he's referring to demons at different points.
Well, then I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna ask what he means when he uses this word versus this word. What's the difference?
Demon. When the Lord God came down and he created humanity, and then Lucifer took the angels and he caused the schism in heaven. He created the demons in hell, the shades of humanity, from the tortured souls. And that is what we see sometimes when you use the divine powers gifted to, and he sort of nods at Tag. This is mostly Pidgin German being translated because he can't speak this well in English. The powers, these demons hunt in vengeance in the socks. This is a godless place. The not good. But there are other demons too that come from the west. They drive the glowpunks towards us. They come seeking provisions because they are moved out of land they normally take.
If he relays this to me, I'll say it seems in the former he's talking about spirits. On the latter, maybe he's talking about the pigs, or maybe he's talking about some kind of living creature.
No police. There are no police in the socks.
Oh, pig joke. Oh, man.
I say, well, we can go west and see what's driving the glowpunks this way. We're here to help.
Punks, yes. Punks scared of demons. Demons hunt punks and god people alike.
Gatto, ask him what the demons look like. Can he draw? What do the demons look like that chase the punks?
Well, I'll point at the laptop and I'll ask, do you have photos of what the demons look like?
No photos. Can ask Survivor draw for you?
Please,
Yes.
Yeah, and then when we get that description, I can do like a cross-reference and see what I can find that looks similar to that or whatever.
Yeah, so he pops to the door and speaks to someone who you can't see but appears to be standing just outside the door, apparently on guard or something. And you hear them sort of have an exchange in Luxembourgish. Jade, you pick up Fetch, and there's a name you don't pick up because you're not familiar. Get them to draw the demons from the west, from what they remember from the scouting. And they head off. You can hear the sound of footfalls outside. And they come back about 2 minutes later with what appears to be like a piece of paper. You've seen paper. Paper happens. This paper is kind of that thin, like, really cheap stuff that's sort of sent out for, like, really cheap flies and stuff. Like, when they make the cheap Bibles that they put in every hotel room, beginning Bibles, whatever, and they're just trying to make them as thin as possible, as cheaply as possible. It's that quality paper. It seems like someone's taken a sort of a ballpoint pen and tried to draw as best they can with a very cheap ballpoint pen. And he kind of puts it down in front of you. And these appear to be people. Some of them wearing kind of heavy, thick but crude armor, carrying like assault rifles and so on. You notice that some of them are wielding, wearing masks with shapes on them, sort of like stars or stripes or sunbursts almost.
Jade, no, just gonna talk to Jade and AR. Can you just quick matrix this and see if this brings up any hits? What
I'll
are we
see what I
looking
can
at?
do.
After
I
seeing
send
the
him like
pictures,
a gif of me thumbs upping, or a thumbs up. And
I
let's see, would this be extended or not? Probably not, right? Because I'm doing it right here.
Probably just a quick one.
And we're not in
Quickie.
hot. One success. Oh no.
You don't find any searches on the matrix. However, the first thing you search, as your deck automatically does a search on its stored files, it instantly cross-references it to a picture that you received a few weeks ago from a port.
Oh.
From a video of your mother being exchanged.
Interesting.
The masks, the stylization of the symbols on the masks seem to be fairly similar.
Can I take both of them and kind of overlap them?
Yeah, they don't match exactly. The masks seem to be similar, the designs seem to be different, but of the same gist. Someone's trying to get across the same idea, like they've each got personalized masks, but they're still part of maybe the same organization or something. You notice that each person has on their shoulder or on their arm or somewhere on their uniform of some kind a circle, which is shaded to make it look like a sphere. Normally this is with like rays coming out of it or fire on it or something. It depends on the person, but each of them does have a shaded sphere.
Can I look up maybe and see if I can find more information on those? And also maybe whoever made the masks?
That will be based on the previous role because it's kind of into the same investigation.
Gotcha.
You can't find anything off the top of your head. Like, you could turn that into an extended role if you want to spend more time on it, but you're still doing an extended test for what were you looking at?
Yeah, I didn't. I was doing an extended test on shit.
It was a 3-hour extended test.
I rolled an 18. Oh, it was the extended test was to fix the laptop.
There's one before that, which was an ongoing one. The laptop, you just needed the first roll, which is fine. There was another extended test before that. I can't remember what you were looking into.
Yeah, it was 18.
It was a 3-hour search.
Yeah,
it was a 3-hour search.
Oh,
damn it, I don't
chat on
remember.
them.
In the meantime,
I didn't write the note down. Oh, it's the Evo research stuff. Right?
The Evo research stuff. Yeah, cool. Yeah. The food is. It's, you know what? I personally think these ration packs are really nice. I actually really enjoy ration pack food, but maybe that's just me. For you guys, it depends how much of a gastronome your characters are. The ration packs aren't actually bad, but they might not be super tasty.
From all of my military friends, the general feeling I get is if you eat those like MREs for more than 2 or 3 days straight, you're definitely gonna have diarrhea. Like, you can have them like one day, you're good, but if you got to eat them like consecutive days, you're in trouble. You need to find
I've only heard bad
like
things about American MREs. I've never heard like people say, other than that it gets a bit bland, about British MREs. I don't know if there's a difference there or not. I know that British changed their style of MREs a few years ago, so maybe it's different since my time, but...
Yeah, I know all my friends like the enchilada ones, but they hate all the other ones, and they would trade for them when they were in basic or when they were in the field or whatever. Everybody wanted the enchilada ones.
I like
the weird thing about the enchilada ones is the tortilla type thing that they use is made to live forever. So it's not really a tortilla, and it just tastes like, I don't know, cardboard. It's so weird.
But yeah, he seems to be talking about how they had one run-in with the demons as they sent a scouting group over there to see, since the glowpunks were moving away from the area, if they could go in and they could salvage anything over there, or if the glowpunks had left anything behind. And they got too close to an armored transport of some kind. The translation is hard for armored transport. It's hard to tell what he means by an armored transport. Around here, that could literally just mean a pretty tough van. But the gist you get is that they got too close, and then they immediately got fired upon and took losses. Several people were killed, and then they backed off. The only survivor of that was the one guy who is currently still in the hospital because he's somewhat impaired in movement now. He had a damaged lower spine, and after some swelling and stuff that ceased, he's no longer use of his legs, but that's why they sent for the drawing. What you can tell, though, from the drawing is that these guys are apparently fairly well-armed people in this area. They also do seem to show in places like cables and stuff. Like, they're drawn much more as like tentacles or as kind of decorative ornaments, but looking at these, you notice that's probably like a data cable or a cable going from a gun to a comlink. These are not ornamental. They're actually just cables by someone who doesn't see them very often. The interpretation is kind of weird because it's going through someone who doesn't really experience this. But these people seem to be fairly well equipped. Though what you can tell, it's very makeshift, but at the same time, they are well equipped for the area.
All right, and I'm going to send you back up, or I'm going to send a message to everybody again, but specifically in reply to Gata's message saying, couldn't find much information, but looks like Rumetta might be using very similar gear.
They're trying to expand their territory.
And I have a screenshot of the helmets that they were using in some of the footage that I found, and then the one that you sent over.
Are you specifically cutting your mom out of these videos?
Yeah.
Make an edit
Or,
file.
I'm showing people, but I'm not
Oh, okay. If you're just selectively picking a screenshot, then that's fine.
I tell him, looking at the rest of the group, maybe we should pay this demon a visit, check out its lair.
Did they say this was coming from the west?
Yeah.
West, yeah.
I drag out one of
to
our
the south.
topographical maps, and I say, where's the demon? And I hand him a pencil so that he can show us where their last engagement was with the demon.
South of the dome, or the translation's weird. It's dome or maybe hemisphere or something. You would gather that he means maybe Garcia 3 on the map. Vaguely south of there. He sort of looks for a while and goes through some of the pictures and then pulls out the last picture in the row and passes it forwards. And this drawing is a little bit more in focus. It seems to be this was fixed in someone's mind. And it's 3 people. One of whom has a mask with a flag that everyone else would need to test for. Deadbolt, you initially recognized this flag. This flag was old news when you were a child, but it was relevant enough that you picked it up. You'd recognize this as a Stars and Stripes, covering half the mask, and it's burning towards the bottom. They're wearing black body armor, military radio, and their fists are glowing almost in this image. They seem to be sort of radiating whatever this guy's drawn with this biro. You're not exactly sure because it's not a particularly great medium to write on. The next one along is a hulking, tall, fairly built guy, probably pushing maybe 6'2" or something, vaguely looking at this. The mask in this case has a kind of a starburst along with a slight star. You would maybe take a guess this is some sort of communist reference or something from the old Cold War. You're not exactly sure which without doing a history check, but maybe some sort of reference here. This guy is pictured center, and then on the far side there's a third person. They seem smaller, slightly different features. Maybe a guess they're trying to sort of go over an vaguely Asian features peeking through a slight slit, big overcoat type thing, mask up over the nose, in 2 hands, each one holding a revolver, kind of oversized, elongated barrel. Strapped to them is several 6 cartridge cylinders for quick loading. Their mask itself it's just pure red, pulled down around their chin in this image, and it has one yellow sort of symbol in the corner. They
really
lead
what all the
leaders.
different flags mean.
Those ones leading group.
I really
We'll
look what
find
the
'em.
flags mean and say, that's a weird combination to have. Those are old.
Deadbolt, you can make a logic check if you want. You don't have any history relevant stuff, but you lived roughly the right time to remember this.
Right. One.
You're not sure about the third one, the one with the revolvers, but for the second one, you think you vaguely see the symbol maybe references the former Soviet Union.
I'll tell him that then. And yeah, that's definitely a strange mix of people to have. Flying really old flags and being leaders of some group.
Do you have any idea how many demons are in this group?
No, there were maybe dozen or so. They were talking to people in van of metal. They had case they hand over. They talked to woman with blonde hair.
Hold on. Can we show him like on the laptop this woman with the blonde hair?
Yeah. Maybe not the laptop.
I did not
but...
see her myself. It was, again, you don't catch the name because it's not the right language. I can ask to be shown. He gestures to the guy who's standing outside. It's the young boy you saw before, 14 years old, walks in and he takes the laptop and he rushes off and comes back 2 minutes later and he nods emphatically. And Jade, you get from what he says to the guy, you get yeah, the guy started almost fitting something. He's in a bad way. Something. He started screaming about demons again.
Okay.
From what my friend tells me, yes.
Interesting. Deadbolt, I'm gonna send a message. It can just be in our group message, but Bolt, do you have any information on who those groups are, like their names? Can you recall?
As in the names related to the flags?
Mm-hmm.
I will have relayed what all the different previous flag meanings were. I forget, what's the current state of the US in Shadowrun?
Many different states, 2 big ones, the United Canadian American States, UCAS. In the south, there's the CAS, which is Confederate American States. You've also got a few different Native American tribes who effectively now set up nations, along with Tietergir, which is the Elvish state. You've got Aslan, which owns a chunk of the south, along with the free city of, is it Los Angeles or is it San Francisco? Can't remember. There's another one which is taken over by the Japanese and become a free city and then got taken over by the Japanese again. Denver, which is a free city as well, and a couple of others.
Can I see if there's any information on any of those cities working with Rue Metal?
Any of the free cities in the US, former US?
The ones that were specifically utilizing those flags.
Okay, so Rue Metal and the old countries before they split up. The US, yeah. USSR, and unknown. Rue Metal was after their time by a good margin. You would know that from when the company was set up. So there was no overlap with any of those countries in Rue Metal.
Okay. That's interesting. Right.
They talk about the agreement. From what I understand, they would discussion. They talk of demons. We not understand much English, and the witness was not in good way afterwards. But he mentioned that they talked of demons and referred to themselves as demons. That is how Blonde Lady referred to them. They referred to her as cult.
Maybe demons is part of their name. Might be a way of locating them. Or identifying them.
I say we go find these guys. I motion to the guy and I say, we'll go west. We come to run off the demons. We will help your town.
But thank you. You are powerful. Church sends many blessings in you. The Lord himself must watch over you, but be careful of the demons.
I say, the demons will be exorcised. And then I sit up straight and I go, Deus Vult.
Yeah, Proteo Damo. This one, he points to the one with the revolvers. She hunts survivors who ran from them. Be careful. She shot many
You
of
will.
people in back. Jay, did you want to do a matrix search?
I don't know what I can search for
Okay.
specifically.
Sure. Well, let me know effectively if you've got any keywords or concepts you want to search and you cross-reference. The more accurate and on par you are, the more information I can give you.
Because we already did kind of the demon search.
Well, you didn't really search for demons. You searched for the image on the masks, and you rolled one hit.
That's true.
So effectively, your
I guess
search
what the
term was
word
the
that
image.
he, yeah, whatever he keeps using for the word demons and the cult, maybe I can like search to see what I can find in the area. I don't know.
The translation is awkward. He's definitely trying to translate into his language and then back again from English. So you could just search for the English word demons if you wanted.
Oh, so it's an English word that he's hearing.
Apparently, like he's transferring it back and out of his language, but you would guess that, yeah. So you're searching for demon plus cult, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Google foo. Let's see.
I'll say that
Demon.
for the purpose of this, make this an extended test. Your first roll is 7 hits. So,
Demons near me.
So do an extended test, but you've already
Demonregistry.com.
had the first part gone. So just knock
Yeah.
off
.org.
one rotation. So go down to 11 dice. I'll
Well,
say
let's try
your
12.
Evo one's finished for the sake of this. The Evo information you have is that Evo abandoned that facility. They were doing research in something to do with the effects of radiation on magic, but they abandoned the facility the last few months. You're not exactly sure when, but they abandoned the facility due to environmental hazards.
That 7 was out of a 12. Jade has hacked the system. It's got to be. Doesn't add up.
Yeah, actually, you've got a 12 and then another 12. So I'll just go with the
It's a
second
12
roll.
without Hudson.
Yeah,
It's not a lot.
27 over the next course of 7 hours. So you would have to be awake until morning, at which point you could sleep because you do
Is
need to
that
sleep at some
7
point.
hours including my?
Oh, half, 3.5.
Yeah.
So you're up. It would still take you about 5 a.m. At which point you should probably sleep because you do need to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of this, you will have a lot of hits. You're already starting to get information on your deck and collate it into a file.
All right.
And that's probably a good place to take a break. So we'll be back with you in 7 minutes.
How do you
Okay.
determine the minutes? Sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 6.
Well,
It's 10 yeah, yeah,
what kind of math
I've
are
already
you
kind of
doing?
wasted part of this episode by being ill, and then I was like, well, she had 7 different rolls for 7 hours, so 7 minutes. Sure. Also, it is God's favorite number because it is, the number of God, 7. So we're in a Catholic place right now.
Oh.
It
so-
is.
Is that
It
just
is.
because the devil likes 6, so God likes 7?
Well, 6
Has
is
to be one
imperfect
up.
because
I
it's
feel
one
like
short
it's
of
always
7.
3,
One up.
not 7.
Mhm.
It's,
Chat
I feel
says
like
that
it's always
symbolism.
3. I guess 3
Chat
or
says
7.
that Splat needs to make sure not to nuke these people from orbit this time.
They can't help it.
You'd be
If-
like,
if they
I am
start-
your
if they
God.
start-
Oh, we better kill them to
if-
get rid of the evidence.
If they start bowing down, got him, then what's he gonna do?
That's
They're
blasphemy.
called the
I'm a
Truckland
loyal
Beast.
priest.
I am the righteous fire. I'm here to burn away your souls, you damn devils. Get out.
Oh,
I
gosh,
cast
yes.
I'm so annoyed I'm in the American South and I can just do that. But sadly, we're in Luxembourgish, French, and German. Hey-ho. We'll be back in 7 minutes. In the meantime, go bio break, go get food, go get drink, go check out the Patreon, go check out the Wikia, go check out the subreddit, go check out the Twitter. We also have a YouTube channel where you can check our VODs. But we'll be back in 7 minutes and we'll find out what's going on because we're about to get a load of information. Hello, welcome back to Roll4It Shadowrun. We're of course playing some cyberpunk shenanigans in Shadowrun, which of course, if you don't know, is a lovely setting where magic has come back to the world, kind of its future 2077, I think at the moment. Place has been taken over by mega corporations, trolls, orcs, dwarves exist. They're kind of productive members of society. Well, depends who you ask, really. A lot of people are racist about orcs. Most people, actually. But, you know, it's fine. Anyway, our team managed to get dropped into a lovely wall of containment area, a bit like the area from Fallout. And they're currently talking to a load of people in the Catholic community. We left them as they were having tea with someone from the community, giving them lovely rations, and these were considered the delicacies. Right. So, with that, was there anything you wanted to do more over dinner?
No, I'm just waiting to go give medical care to people, and then we'll just sleep till I'm gonna sleep till tomorrow, so we can go find these demons and mess them up.
Okay.
I think Maggie might be muted again.
I'm not mute. I'm not trying to
There you
talk.
are. Oh, I thought
I'm
you
not
said
trying to
something.
talk.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
satisfying the needs of the viewers while you guys talk.
as you get up to leave from your lovely meal, sort of shaking hands, and he still seems to be fairly enamored of you guys for being so helpful. Tak, you turn around and you notice a face peeking out from the stairs upstairs looking at you.
Hey, little one. I turn to her dad and I say, she don't see new faces very often, does she?
No, only people outside tend to be bad.
Sure. Hopefully we can get rid of a few of those so she can be, well, a little bit more outgoing.
He seems to contemplate this, and he still thinks you've got a big job ahead of you. You can see the look on his face; he's a bit apprehensive. But considering how the level of competency you've shown so far, he sort of nods. Thank you. You do us so much service. Lord God has sent you to us himself. You are a blessing.
Well, thank you for dinner. I motion to the med kit again. You're ill? Sick people?
I'm not ill.
Gato, ask them where they keep their injured and they're sick.
Do you have any people that could use some treatment? We have an advanced medical kit.
Yes. When you are done, I need to see things about town. The lad outside will take you. When you are done, he points to the room, kind of across from the dining room, and he says, Dad, you have room. You stay in my house tonight, yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. I go tend to things. Thank you. I mean, it's fine. They are friendly. Papa? And she looks at Tak from it and goes, shakes a wrapper from the chocolate bars she had previously in your direction.
I don't have any left. I gave them all to her dad. Are they still on the table? She snatched two of them. She eat them all?
He put the other 10 into the kitchen. Obviously, he didn't want to give all of them to her.
I motion to her father, and I say, she's got to ask you. It's your house.
Yeah, he pops back into the kitchen and pulls out a chocolate bar. And Jade, you get from the gist of what he says to her, not all at once.
She's gonna make herself sick.
Hands it to her. She's like,
I'm gonna smile, but I know that she's just gonna eat it all.
Hey, I mean, it's chocolate.
she goes to walk away, and he says something to her in a low voice, and she's like, okay. And she comes down the stairs really meekly, walks up to Tak. This hulking guy in full body armor, like with, you know, basic camo patterning and heavy metal implants that protect against radiation, and hugs your leg. Just grabs your leg in a bear hug. And then runs
Like you
back
made a
upstairs.
Yeah, chocolate will do that.
Yes. Jimmy. And this lad walks in. This lad speaks French, so none of you speak French. He indicates.
I got that program. Remember?
Yeah, you can download French. Yeah, up to rating 3, I think, can't you? Because you paid a fortune for the monthly subscription. So yeah, you can get across language to him fairly decently. You kind of speak at a decent level for someone who's had like a secondary school education in it, or maybe beginnings of a little bit more. And he tells him to basically take you to the medical facilities. Jade, you hand back the laptop now working, and he's aghast of how quickly it boots up. It only takes like 20 seconds. Before it took about a minute. Thank you. Follow Jamie. He take you to the hospital.
Sure. I stand up and I say, I'll be back momentarily. And I follow Jimmy with the med kit over my shoulder.
I got some searching to do anyway.
Yeah, so you're going to spend your next couple of hours searching before going to bed. Deadbolt, Gatto, do you want to do anything?
I'd like to go talk to the person who actually encountered these demons.
You'll be going with Tag then, because that guy's currently in the hospital as well. Deadbolt?
Okay.
And I'll follow along.
Okay, you follow along, Jamie. The lad, now you get to look at him, he's probably actually a little bit younger than you first anticipated. He's probably 12 or 13. He's had to grow up quicker under the circumstances of living here. But he quickly takes you forwards. You notice again that, well, he looks a little bit malnourished. He also has this kind of glossy, waxy skin. That you're seeing on quite a lot of the people around here. And he takes you through past one of the houses nearby and takes you to what looks like at one point it might have been some sort of shop or something, maybe. Deadbolt, you'd actually recognize the look of the place and the fact that there's a metal object out front. This was a post office. The metal object is just a big metal cylinder now, rusted over time, but you would recognize that as once it was a post box. He takes you in and walks you up a flight of stairs which are rickety and half the steps are broken or slanted in a weird way. Some have been replaced with bits of corrugated metal. And up you get to the top, there is a smell of dried blood, the smell of burnt flesh. They're very irony smell from dried blood. There's a couple of people moaning. There's someone in the corner who is kind of slumped over, holding their head. And Jamie indicates him and goes, he mimes drawing and then points to the pictures you have.
I nod and I give him a thumbs up. I'm going to do a basic triage of everybody, basically priority list, figuring out who needs help the most and who needs help the least.
Sure. So for every hour you spend here doing triage specifically, you can make effectively a medicine check, and we'll call it an extended test. So however long you want to stay here, you can do a certain number of passes, depending on hours.
Okay. So first hour, 3 successes on 8.
Is there a way I can provide help that won't just make things worse?
2 successes on the second hour. 5 successes get me anything?
You could probably like hold things for him and hand him things.
5 successes is
Speed up the process.
your help. Certainly helps. You certainly go through and you see a lot of people who are injured, who are hurt, who have very treatable injuries, which just haven't been. They haven't had the supplies. They've done the best they can with a certain amount of stuff from your med kit. You go through, you hand out a lot of antibiotics, some vague antiviral medication. You notice some people who are older. There's a surprising number of people who are probably in their 30s or 40s here who are beginning to suffer from the effects of radiation poisoning. Not so much acute radiation poisoning, because that tends to be a very short-term effect, but more the consequences of it. You start handing out, even in some places, placebos. There's one person who your gut would tell you would need to be put down fairly soon, as they're in sort of advanced stage of some sort of abdominal cancer. And you just hand out a lot of effectively morphine or pseudomorphine.
Okay, I got 9 successes total.
Okay, so how many hours did it take you? 4?
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be up for about 4 hours, so you'll be good to go to sleep at about 7 a.m. 9 successes, you manage to go around and you make a fairly big difference on only 9 successes, because they just haven't had the equipment that you have. Even though some of them have got fairly good at having to deal with certain injuries, they just haven't had any equipment. and any real knowledge has been kind of lost. So you make a massive difference. There's a lot of people here that you can help. Some more recent injuries. You go past a few people who've suffered more like cutting wounds. Like there's a few people who've taken bladed attacks to the chest and arm, like they were trying to defend themselves. A few people who are actually missing digits, and one person's missing a hand. And with those injuries, what you're mostly concerned about is the immediate sort of care to do with antibiotics and cleaning the wounds. And you go through and you have to take all the bandages off. It does take you a while, but you make a fairly big difference in these people's lives.
Okay, before I leave, I because the duffel bag will have like a full electronic suite inside of it, I flick it on over to French as the language that everything's in, and I just leave the medkit there.
Okay. They are just astonished that they haven't had anything like this at all. None of the things, none of the drops, none of the relief aid they've got have even come close to a rating 6 medkit.
I figure I can get another one. They will never see another one of these.
Yeah,
I have a fixer that can get me that shit in like 5 minutes, like.
Yeah, no.
How much did it cost?
They're like 1,200, like 15. It's like 300 times rating, or like 4.
That's not that bad. I thought it was more than that. So.
Yeah, no, they are. A few of them just walk over and start touching buttons on the side of the panel, and
and the nice thing about a rating 6 is even if you don't know anything about medical care, you plug it into somebody, and it's like, this is what you do. Like, it walks you through it step by step. So it's a robotic doctor.
Normally, you only get that if you've got the wireless bonus, which they can't take advantage of. However, I would say that if they don't have combat time, it does have a step-by-step guide. It will just take a long time. But that's fine for them. And this one girl who seems to be running the show up here, she's probably only about... She might be 18 at a glance. She just walks over to you and she just looks at you and goes, Danker. Danker. And she just like crosses herself, puts her hands together and...
Yeah, I cross myself and I give a blessing in Latin before I walk out.
Is she one of the people trying to work here?
Yeah, she seems to be running the show, yeah.
Then I'll point out to Tag, show her how to switch it back to German if she needs to use it that way.
Sure. I show her the quick function of how to change the language between German and French, whatever they need.
Okay, and as soon as you show her that, she realizes where the language button is on the main menu. And she gets the gist of how to change it. She recognizes some of the symbolage of French language, so she can make it fairly easily. Meanwhile, Gatto and Debo, you head over to the guy in the corner who appears to be he's very much in his own head right now. He's muttering to himself. As far as you can tell, his legs just aren't working. While he's rocking backwards and forwards, using his abs and his shoulder muscles. It's kind of weird to see someone rocking back and forwards without using their legs, because normally when you rock, you're using your upper quads. This guy is just kind of shuddering himself forwards using his upper torso. His legs aren't moving whatsoever.
Well, are there any seats next to him? And just sit down and just have a chat?
There are crude cushions. There aren't seats so much.
Cushions work.
Okay, you sit down on these crudely made cushions that seem to sort of pack some sort of synthetic stuffing inside of a sack. He's just sitting there going, demons, the demons, the demons, the demons, the demons, the demons, demons.
Oh, what language is he speaking?
He's saying demons in English.
Then I'll just try to respond in English. What demons? Where?
Make a charisma plus intuition. It's just how you can reach through to this guy. It's not about negotiation, it's not about etiquette. It's just about being able to connect. 3 hits.
3.
That was just enough. He looks up at you, and as soon as you say demons, he just locks eyes with you. Demons. West. Near the glow. The demons. They come.
What do they do? What do the demons do?
They hunt us. They hunt everyone. They take them all.
Do you know why?
They trade something. They talk. The soulless one. She talks with them, makes some sort of deal.
Is that it? Do they only deal with the soulless woman?
I don't know. One time, see them, demons talk to Soulless Woman. They talk of cult.
What do they say of the cult?
They say that the cult will bring down the dragon, that they will end the corporate hold on the Gaia, and that they will poison it as befits our race. That humanity has fallen, they say.
I'm just relaying this information over to Jade real quick, and also to Tag, see if he can make anything of it.
A message pops
what I think
back up for me.
like?
Yeah, a message. It pops up. Yeah, it sounds like it, and then it says "Christ help us" afterwards, with like ...
So do you know what they plan on doing to this dragon? How do they plan to poison it?
They said that they would attack the dragon. They said that they said that that they would give the Soulless One weapons to attack the dragon. The great power.
Demons typically do have great power. Do you know where the Soulless One is? If the demons are south of the sphere, if the demons are by the glow, where's the Soulless One?
That was where we saw them. We saw them in the old parking lot. They were trading. They had the van of metal. The demons were there.
The van of ver metal. Is that correct?
Were you there? You can't have been there. I see them in my dreams.
I've seen that van as well.
No, you can't have seen the van. Everyone has ever died. I see them. They talk to me.
I sent a message back over. Gato, there should be some mild benzodiazepines inside the kit. Ativan, that sort of thing. It might calm him down slightly, but keep him functional, or it'll just let him get a night's sleep. It sounds to me like he's got pretty hardcore PTSD or some kind of whatever happened down there. It seems to have hurt him. Might want to give him a night's sleep or something like that.
Does the room have a name for this individual?
No, but you can ask the lass who's walking around, who seems to be in charge.
Sure, I'll ask her. What does he respond to? What name does he prefer?
Je ne parle anglais. Do you gesture over at him?
Yes.
James.
James. Thank you.
And she heads back.
And James, do you want to relax?
Can't relax. Can't relax. They can't be watched. They come for me. They come for me.
Gato, I'll come back. I head back over there, and I'm going to cast an influence spell on him. But the influence spell is going to be all positive things like peace, relaxation. Essentially, I'm going to influence his mind at ease.
You can't really
He's gonna,
influence someone to be in a different emotional state, as far as I'm aware. The influence spell allows you to plant a command subconsciously, so you can tell someone to want to do something or to maybe have a craving for a certain thing. It's very hard to say be at peace. I would allow it to try and influence.
Can I influence?
To try and calm.
Yeah, can I influence? Yeah, try to relax maybe then.
It would be a higher. It would be a higher threshold, but you can try it because I think there are spells that are better suited towards this. You can like influence emotions and stuff.
Oh shit! There's demons. Never mind. I'm not gonna do it. There's demons. I don't want to put a high rank spell on him. Instead, I'm just gonna fish out a couple of benzodiazepines, something like Ativan or something like a Xanax or something like that.
Yeah. Make a medicine roll.
To him.
It'll be fairly easy.
Yeah, I was like, don't you have any face type of things where you can like make him calm him down?
You get to add the med kit to this. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I'll add 6 to it. Okay.
Three successes.
3.
Yeah, you effectively find something which is not quite as all smothering as a standard modern day tranquilizer. You give something that's a little bit more targeted, and over the course of the next 2 minutes or so, he starts to calm down. You get the feeling that as soon as he starts to come down, he seems suddenly very tired. He starts to almost snoozing almost. He starts to sort of drift off. Not because of what you gave him specifically, because it only has a mild side effect of just making him tireder, but because he's just not had a chance to sleep for a very, very long time, at least not restfully.
I pat Gato on the shoulder and I say, tell him to sleep. Just, he needs rest.
They hunted us. My friends. We left. We ran. The 6. She followed. She shot them. And then they came. And my friends. Curtis,
Not anymore, James. They're not going to follow you anymore.
His face missing. He spoke to me. He told me we wouldn't escape. And then the dead talk to me. They haunt my dreams. And then demons. He drifts off.
Wow.
I'll be honest with you, Gato. I don't like what these people been through. The world abandoned these folks, and now they're gonna deal with. They were simultaneously abandoned by the world, and yet now they're being hunted by corporate forces or whatever this is. It seems unfair. They should have to put up with both.
At that comment, I pull out the Geiger counter and I tell him, "Well, you'll be happy to know that they won't live long enough for it to really matter. And hopefully, they don't reproduce in here." That little
as
girl
you bring
was
the
the
Geiger
saddest
counter
thing I've
towards
seen.
different people in the room, it ticks up, and now you are right next to James. You notice that it's ticking a lot more loudly.
I sort of rub my face, and some of these people. I mean, I motioned to one guy, late stage stomach cancer, possibly colon cancer. I mean, it's bad.
I grab Tag's arm and I suggest perhaps we should leave this place before we discuss the wounded.
Sure.
We knew
I
what we
walk
were
out
getting
front.
into. When we started this mission, there's a ton of civilians. I don't know if we're going to be able to save them all, if that's what you're implying, Tag.
Oh
But
no, they're too
looking
far
through the
gone at
data-
this point.
Looking through the data, that conversation was actually pretty helpful. You know that the Frankfurt Van Buren Bank of Van Buren group that was working together. Yeah, that was working together. I think that this might have to do with that as well. I mean, think about it. There was a bunch of megacorps trying to work together. I mean, Alchemy, Proteus. Maybe they're being run by this group.
Yeah, there seems to be some at play here that, like I said, circumstances are unfair, abandoned by the world, but still subject to its intrigues.
Give me a couple more hours. I'll figure out what I got on this demon cult business.
Don't stay up too long. We should get some
Sure.
rest and get driving again.
I'm gonna go
My
get some
estimated
sleep
time-
before we leave.
I should be able to get this wrapped up by 5.
Yeah,
I'm
just
not gonna be
point-
done till 7,
yeah.
so I'm gonna go to sleep at 7 and get some rest after all that.
I can sleep in the car if needed. I recommend the same for Tag.
Once 7 o'clock comes around and I get done with the triage and going around taking care of people, I'm gonna try and get as much shit as I can while we have a place to sleep.
Deadbolt and Gatto, you have a few hours to kill before Tag and Jada are done with their tests. Is there anything more you'd like to do?
Probably just trying to see how they're doing their water purification, because you said they're collecting rainwater for now, and they're just I don't know. I just want to see what they're doing.
So collecting rainwater, and eventually they're running it through effectively a system whereby they're going to try and heat it up using a few cobbled together parts, a lot of which comes from old diesel engines. They heat it up, they evaporate it, and then they condense it. The problem is that's very taxing on the fuel because evaporating water takes a lot of energy, so they don't get to do it to everything. They can do it to a certain amount of water, which is why the water purification tablets that they have from their supplies and stuff really helps subsidize that. It really helps them get a lot more water through. So it's not particularly efficient.
What's the name of this settlement?
We never asked.
It had a name at one point. The signs have been rusted and stuff. As you go around, you pick up the name that they don't have a name in English, but the translation, you get the feeling that as it's given to you, it's the land that God forgot.
Do I know roughly where this is on a topo map? Like, could I mark it with a circle on a topo map easily enough?
Yeah. you
Okay,
just
so
do
I
an
make
AR.
note of it. And then on with Jade, I say next time we got the sat link up, I'm gonna call my bishop, and I'm gonna see what kind of help I can wrangle for these people. I feel like it's the least I can do. The
Oh,
church
me
should
know
be
when-
able to get a drop over here or something.
Let me know when you need it up.
Sure.
at the top of that list tag needs to be some type of water purification system. What they have here is just, it doesn't cut the mustard. Not for this many people.
Yeah. Agreed.
They also
so
have
I-
some water that they do get from the Sar, the river.
I bet that service is irradiated as hell.
You have the guide counter near it. It's irradiated. It's not irradiated as hell, though. It's not as high as you would expect. It is certainly radioactive, though, because of all the waste that flushes into it. It's not crazy high. This would tell you that the SAR is maybe not as radioactive as it could possibly be led to believe, but it is still not great. You certainly
Interesting.
need to use it good.
I'll have a look at what defenses they have.
Okay. Now, do you want to just try and spend an hour or two trying to instruct them, just giving them a bit of advice as you go around?
Yeah,
Alright.
just the general things, yeah.
Make a leadership roll.
Oh boy.
Because you're both doing stuff applicable to your trades, you can get a +2. Because you both have the skills you're trying to instruct them in.
Let's go +2. 1.
You help a little bit. They're still a bit unfamiliar with you. The language barrier is certainly there. But you help them a
Anthem,
little
roll
bit.
it. There you go.
Also one.
Deadbolt, about the same. Anyway, you turn in. Eventually, Tag, you're going to get there a little bit later to turn in. You're sleeping in the house, not the truck, right?
Yeah, in the house. How many hours of sleep do I get so I can heal my stun damage?
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Jade, you, Gatto, and Deadbolt all start bedding down. You've been given some sheets, etc. They're radioactive to an extent, but not much more than anything else in here. It appears that certainly because people sleep in them, they are slightly more radioactive, but not enough that it would really affect you. You can choose to sleep in your armor or not. If you sleep in your armor, any healing you do will be a slight negative because you won't get a full proper rest. If you sleep outside of your armor, there will be a big change on how much you will take in terms of radioactivity.
I'll stay in the armor and I'll keep the
Yeah.
chemical seal on and everything, and I'll just take the penalty.
Yep, I'm not
Yeah,
injured, so
same.
Cool.
Yeah,
Jade,
I'm not injured either.
I thought you had
Okay.
physical damage from... You had 2 physical damage
Oh,
left from
yeah.
Spirit. That won't heal overnight. That heals per day of rest, though.
Yeah, I have 2 wounds.
Yeah. Those
I haven't
those are
healed you
physical
magically
damage.
yet either. I only got you with the med kit, so technically I could hit you with a heal spell if you really need it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it took 2.
Yeah, so that won't heal overnight anyway. That takes an entire day of proper
Yeah.
healing and attention.
I would
technically,
urge
that's not-
caution because healing with corrupted magic might be a little weird, and my
And,
character
yeah.
would know that.
Especially radiation damage, because the healing magic repairs DNA, but it's not clever enough sometimes to not repair it the wrong way, so it can cause cancer with radiation.
It's a brute force solution,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Can I do anything to help seal my armor?
No, it's kind of assumed that it's by default you'll be running off the gas mask and sleeping in the helmet, and it's all kind of uncomfortable, but you'll generally be fine. However, Maggie, as soon as you start going to sleep, you start to drift off. I just need to do something here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You start drifting off. And as soon as you close your eyes, as soon as you start feeling, yourself letting go, going towards, La La Land, you find yourself surrounded by shifting monochrome colors, standing on a black shadowed surface. Voices come to you, see faces in the dark, the faces of everyone you've met recently, just playing around you. And then a face you recognize steps forwards out of the shadows, and it's your mum. Changed slightly. Her jaw is kind of awkward, like she's had a replacement metallic jaw fitted, gleaming chrome, kind of tarnished, and her cheeks kind of meet it just about there at the jaw hinge. Her upper teeth as well seem to have been replaced. You notice that her hands are raw and blistered. Part of her face is sagging slightly. Her skin kind of has this weird shine to it. Her eyes are, one pupil is just kind of expanded more than the other one, and her head lolls slightly sideways. And she walks towards you. Izzle. Where have you been? I've been searching. I couldn't find you. She passes right through you as she tries to reach for you. And then she disappears into smoke. And then from behind you, you turn around, she walks towards you again. You're going the wrong way. Investigating the wrong way. It's the golden one. He turns you against us.
The golden one? Where are you?
Sailor Crop. Sailor Crop. Have me.
Who did this to you?
As Lothwir. He's using you. And as she reaches out again, she passes straight through and evaporates the smoke again.
Is it over?
You kind of spin around, and then you hear voices coming. This time you don't see her face, you don't see any physicality to it, but every single face now that was out of the smoke is just her face, over and over again. Over and over, overlapping. They all speak in chorus. You're being manipulated. Hazel, don't let me have protected you in vain. You must stop him. You must
How?
stop Sailor Crop.
How can I
You must
stop
take
him?
them down. Don't expose them. And then she kind of loses track as all the voices kind of begin to just get louder into a cacophony, and you have to collapse to the ground holding your ears as it overwhelms you. Tag, you walk in.
I'm like on the
Jade
ground and I'm like
is on the
holding
ground
my
holding
head.
her ears. As far as you can tell, she's still asleep in the middle of a night terror.
And
I
all you
ascended
hear
her
is
to
me
see if-
going, you hear me saying, Mom, how?
Is there something magical going on right now? Is somebody sending a message spell, or let me
Make an
sense her?
check.
And that's gonna be four successes.
Not bad.
It's hard. It's really tough to dig through the back. Did you take a minus? You didn't take a background count on that. You're gonna have to re-roll that with background count. Sorry, my fault. I should have told you there was a background count of 2 here. No, 3, because you moved into a more heavily radiated place. The background count's high here. My bad. 2 successes is still enough to be able to sense something. Something is going on. Jade, as you look down and you flip to the astral, you see the landscape is messed up. Things here are rotted and broken. There's a burning light over in the distance to the west that's sort of kind of like the edge of a sun, but in the center is black, sheer black of the abyss, like a hole in magic itself. You can see it almost radiating through the side of the building. And as you look down at Jade, something is glowing around her head. Something is connected with her. And you can see, as you look down and kind of pull at it with your magical senses, there is a thread. It is a thread of some sort of spell, and it heads west.
I counterspell it.
Roll me counterspell.
A 4 on 12.
You pluck at the string. You use all your might to try and cancel it. You just reach out and you try as best you can with effectively astral shears, just try and pluck that string and break it. You try. It is just too strong. It defeats your best efforts. And as you try and grab hold of it in the astral, you feel your astral body start to melt around the fingertips as you grab it. It's not enough to be real damage to your physical your astral form, but it's the beginning of it. As if you've touched something incredibly toxic.
Can I magical theory this, since it's my area of study, to see if I understand what's going on?
If you're magical theory, you may roll it.
Okay. Four successes on my magical theory.
You would know a certain amount from that. You don't know enough to be able to get the full gist of it, but this is not hermetic magic. It's not shamanic magic. It's closer to shamanic, maybe. Closer to Hermanic in some senses, but closer to shamanic in others. But it's not either. It's definitely not Christian. This is wrong. Someone is definitely channeling some sort of forbidden magic here. At a guess, you'd say it maybe might be toxic, considering the area. But also the link is a very special type of link. The link... You can sense another person at the other end of the link. This isn't a link that is like an item that someone's dropped or a treasured childhood possession or anything. This is a link using someone else who is attached via bloodline. It's not blood magic, but there is a bloodline link here that is being used to trace a spell to Jade. The nature of the spell itself is something mental, something manipulation-y, something in that category. It's maybe something illusion-y. Beyond that, you can't really tell. You could try and counterspell it again. You think you've got a better grasp on it now, but it is definitely perverse, whatever the nature of this spell.
Yeah, I'll give it another shot at counterspelling it, I guess. Is it still at a -3?
I would say it'd be a -2 now, just because you've got a slightly better grip on what it is.
And then I'm going to pre-edge, I guess.
Okay, do it. +3 and re-roll your sixes.
5
That's
successes with 4 sixes. 1 more 6, 2 more successes, so 7 successes, 6 explodes.
Nice.
So that's going to come out to 8 successes on the counterspell.
This time you reach
If that doesn't do
forwards,
it, nothing will.
you
Like, we're at
invoke-
dragon level magic now.
Oh, man.
You invoke Latin incantations, which you've never had to use anything this dire before. Not at all. I don't think even a situation where you've had to be plucking on something this wrong.
Yeah. 8 hits. For the audience here, 8 hits is enough to dispel, like, crazy high-level magic.
Yeah.
Like, it's enough to be like, get out of here with, like, all your strength. And that's like, if he
And
can't do it with this, nobody can.
You reach out, you grab hold of the thread. Your hands begin to burn and sear as you feel the pain of touching something that is just innately wrong. It is very much the anathema of a lot of traditions, including yours especially. And you yank with all your mental might. And the thread pulls free. You feel someone on the other end. You're not sure. But it seems a bit like Jade is on the other end. Or someone close to Jade. Someone related. At the same time, you feel an incredibly angry will on the other end of someone who has been thwarted, who is channeling through that thread, and who was currently in that thread when you yanked it, and who is incredibly pissed off. Now, because of the nature of a remote spell, they aren't with you, they aren't astrally there, but that link allows you to get a quick glimpse at them. Not a physical glimpse, but you get a glimpse of their mind. They are pissed. They were starting something. You get the feeling that they were starting something, that they were going to use Jay, that they had a plan, and that they were aware that you guys were going to thwart them somehow, and that they were going to try and manipulate Jade against you, or against someone.
Through the
And-
astral, I project back an emotion. I focus on it with all my might, and it's the projection of just like protectiveness, essentially, but not protectiveness in like a physical sense. More of a sentimentality that goes along with protecting someone that's close to you. And I don't know if they're going to see it, but I focus on that emotion as hard as I can, hoping that they'll get the idea.
Is it like that image that you always see at churches on like the stained glass windows where it's like a priest holding a child to their robes? It's like the one that always gets put in the wrong light on Reddit.
It's not even that. It's almost the mental image of just like, if you want to get to her, you have to go through me. And I'm the
And
only
like a
powerful
shielding,
mage
like
in
a
the
the image
area.
down the link, you feel what can only be described as a guttural snarl. and there is a whip crack as the link is severed as it leaves you and just evaporates. The very last element of the link snaps like a whip at you. Doesn't do any damage, but it's just the raw emotion of someone who is thoroughly pissed off, and it slaps you across your astral body, and where it lands, it burns. It feels like, again, that same element of magic. It doesn't do enough to do damage, but you get the sense that someone is pissed and someone is going to seek vengeance.
Okay. If anybody's around, they would hear me mutter something along like, "Do what you will to me, but be gone," or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, just like a low whisper mutter.
Deadbolt, you both wake up. There is some sort of loud sound like a gunshot or a whip crack or something impacting
what?
that wakes you up, and you hear Tag say that. Jade.
I want to say Jade is still
Suddenly-
sleeping, and she's crying in her sleep.
At some point you woke up. You're not sure when, but your transition to a wakefulness didn't change anything. You just stayed crying, clutching your face. For you, there was no difference.
And like Jade has always been super hard, right? Like she's like never cries, never shows emotion, but like now she's just like bawling.
What the hell's going on?
You see me just standing there in the middle of the room in the dark, like fully clothed, just like staring at a wall, not moving.
And then you just see Jade like curled in a ball, like rocking and crying.
What in the world is happening?
Go back to sleep. We'll talk about it in the morning. It's fine.
Take that girl's candy bar again.
It's fine. I keep everything like a low whisper. I don't want to alarm people in the middle of their rest. I don't
I'll
sleep
go back
that
to
night.
sleep.
I'm
I'll
going
go
to
back
stay
to sleep.
awake and keep Astral Overwatch. This was powerful enough, and it was a big enough incursion to where it would concern me as like a THD mage. This is like the first thing I've come across that actually was a challenge, and that concerns me.
Okay. I will need you to make an sensing test. A -2.
Okay. Three successes on 7.
Okay. You get a glimpse of something powerful moving around the edges of your vision, just close enough where it can see you, and you notice what appears to be another mage. You would know that they're slightly stronger than you magically, that they've been initiated once, and their aura is toxic to all hell. Looking at them on the astral is like looking on a small supernova, just like when you saw that radiation spirit before. However, in this case, it's perverse. It is toxic in the extreme. Just looking on it makes you want to like claw out your astral eyeballs. Like the very thought of that this person could turn this way, that they could take something so sacred, like God could give them so much power, and that they could be perverted and effectively the personification of death. Every time you look upon them, you just get the feeling of Armageddon. Just looking on them just feels like the end. It feels like the death of all things. Like this person has someone or something backing them, and whatever it is, they have a patron, and that patron hates life, and it wants all things to die. Seeing you on Astral Overwatch, the figure doesn't get any closer. They stay on the edge of what you can see through the radiation, which has blocked, somewhat of your astral sight. They could see you earlier. They walk forwards. As far as you can tell, once the shape moves forwards, they get close enough that you can see them, and they stare you down astrally.
And the astral,
Fight.
What do they
I
look
just-
like in the astral?
probably
The
just
other-
another naked dude. Two naked dudes just staring in each other's eyes.
The problem is that normally he'd be a
That's not
naked
weird
dude,
enough.
but this naked dude is bright, shining light. But the way that the light shines, it doesn't so much cast light as it casts dark shadows around them, and everything around them in the astral just tends to wilt and die while they walk past it.
Oh shit.
I extend my will to the area around my astral form, and I cause it to grow and flourish.
Make a magic plus charisma roll.
It's like, come on. And then they're both just like standing there and it's like going at each other.
Hell yeah. I'm getting my spirit bomb ready. Ooh.
You try,
Never
and as
mind.
you grab upon the magic around you to try and change it, your body actually just reacts badly, and you feel, again, your hands start to burn and blister. This time transferring over to the physical world a little bit as your skin becomes to redden in the physical world. You get the feeling that the figure smiles upon you, and it steps back and disappears. Over the course of the night, you do see some Watcher spirits. If you choose to dispel them, you can. I won't even make you roll, because they're Watcher spirits.
Yeah, I dispel spirits as they come, just not wanting anything else to come along.
One by one, pretty much every hour or two, a Watcher spirit is sent forwards. Again, these are perverted. They are spirits of some sort of toxic abomination, but they are just Watcher spirits. And as you see them, you cancel them, you cancel them, you cancel them. And the rest of the night goes without incident.
So I guess we'll skip forward. When people start to wake up, they see me.
Before we wake up, because before I went to bed, I would have gotten information on.
Yeah, so the information you got is kind of a lot.
Okay.
How many hits did you get? You got like 27, right?
I got 18.
18.
Because remember we messed
Okay,
up the
okay.
rolls.
So 18. In which case, you get that there is a toxic group of mages, mainly aspected towards radiation magic, called Demon Core. They're named after a specific core of, I think it was radioactive plutonium, which was around in the 20th century, which went supercritical on several occasions due to mishaps. No, mostly due to someone being stupid in a lab. It caused several deaths, and eventually it was just melted down and separated. This group have named themselves after it because they are very much aligned towards radiation in particular. They seek out radiation, they enjoy being around it, it boosts their magic because they're aspected towards it as well. They have 3 leaders who are ranked, and they title themselves after the biggest nuclear detonations by country. In third is the third biggest nuclear detonation by a country, which was by China, which is number 6. Number 6 is rumored to be Chinese by origin. She left sometime recently-ish, about maybe 20 years ago, so China was only a number of disparate states at that point. She's fairly young. She's the most junior of the top 3. Let me just double check. I don't have metatype written down. Why do I not have that written down? I believe she is human. I wanted to double check that afterwards. Number 2 is named after the biggest detonation by the number 2 power, which was America. Number 2 is called Bravo. He is an adept of some kind. Each of them uses radiation in some form. As far as you can tell, by the way, number 6 is mundane. Number 6 is not an adept, not a magician, not a mystic adept. Bravo is an adept. Bravo is someone who used to be a brawler of some kind, thought a lot in martial arts championships in the US, and found a new calling at some point. It's a very mixed background, but somehow ended up as part of Demon Core. In charge is Tsar. Tsar is a powerful mage, charismatic, able to sway the group from being a disparate bunch of effectively almost anarchistic members to a almost fanatical death cult. Tsar has a patron in form of the Doom patron spirit. And as a group, they are both somewhat environmentalists, but they are like, they went out the end of environmentalists and flipped and came out evil. They want people to stop polluting, but they don't think humanity deserves to survive. So they think it's ironic to destroy humanity via polluting it with radioactivity. They want to spread it. They want to kill people. They want to destroy infrastructure. They want to take down corporations, but at the same time just to cause as much death as possible.
So they're basically here to force climate. What's it called? Oh my god, I'm so bad with words. Climate change deniers, right? They're here to force climate change deniers to see the truth by giving them as much radiation and toxicity as possible.
They think to an extent that they will be protected by their patrons. They have several different patrons. It's not just Doom. You get the feeling that Bravo has a different patron as well. Some of them have mutations and stuff, but as far as you can tell, they tend to survive their radiation poisoning or the mutations a lot better than normal people would. Beyond that, there's a lot of information you don't really know. You know that they moved, it's rumored they moved to the Sox a while ago, and they've been getting more professional ever since, but they never really had enough funding or backing from anyone to really do anything big. There are some rumors about them being contacted by As Technology a few years ago, but the rumors generally consist of As Technology called it off because they're not reliable enough, they're not professional enough, and they just want to kill people, and it's just a bit too much for As Technology. Even that is just too hot for them. So As Technology called it off. The rumors being that effectively the person in charge of Europe's Special Operations and Black Funding, which was a certain person you may have met, was somewhat against this, but in the end, they deemed it prudent to cut ties. I think that is it.
That's a
Something
lot.
to sleep on for sure.
All right.
Maybe that's why she had nightmares. Damn.
Yeah. I did unplug after that before I went to sleep. And I will forward that information along to everybody before I passed out. And yeah, that's interesting. Damn.
Jade, you slept in your helmet, didn't you? Did you have it closed or
Yeah.
open?
Closed.
Okay, in which case, slowly, as you realize that you're awake and you've been sobbing in your helmet for like a good half hour, you notice that your fingernails have been peeled off or have been shredded down very low to the point that your fingertips are bleeding because you've been raking your hands across your face for the last hour without realizing it. And of course, your face is protected by a military-grade helmet, so your hands didn't fare well. It's not enough to do damage, but it's enough that you notice that you've accidentally inflicted harm upon yourself without realizing it.
Aren't the hands
Through my
protected by
gloves, like
military-grade
in my gloves.
But your gloves have the ends torn off of them. If you wore your did you wear your full like you wore the gauntlets as well on top, like the proper
Yeah,
full body?
I had gloves on.
Oh, God, body armor meets body armor. In which case, yeah, your hands aren't injured. Your
rubbing it that
faceplate,
hard?
the metal part of your faceplate, the glass part of your faceplate there, which is actually sort of a polyceramic transparent material, it has scrape marks down the front, slightly obscuring your vision in places. This is meant to be scratch proof, but constantly doing that over the course of an hour seems to have managed to just about stop
Why would I
damage
ever
now.
like scratch my face? That doesn't seem.
Because some things about that vision were wrong. And maybe very, very wrong.
Sunshine and lollipops.
You realize, by the way,
Da,
that Tag
da,
is standing
da, da,
over
da.
you guys. Everyone else seems to be asleep. But you slowly realize that A, your helmet is filled with fluid, which appears to taste slightly salty. And B, Tag is gesturing off into the distance, and he seems to be, for a moment you think, conducting some sort of orchestra, until you notice that after a rapid series of movements, he stops again, and he just continues looking around.
I'm gonna come to, and I guess my hands are hurting. Does that mean my gloves are punctured then?
No,
So I
because
need
you
to
had your body armor on. Your hands hurt because they've been pushed against body armor for a
Yeah.
very long period of time, but they're not damaged in any real way, noticeably. You probably feel a
Okay.
bit raw and a bit achy, but
But yeah, I just have scratches on my visor. That's
yeah,
what you're
not
saying.
not massively deep. It's scratch-proof visor and nothing.
It's just
short
like
of a
when your
bullet
phone
is
gets
gonna-
scratched or
yeah, just a
glasses
little
get
bit.
scratched.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And I'm like, I kind of like wake up and like my eye has, you know, that like the eye boogies. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I got some eye boogies and I'm like trying to like open my eyes, but so I'm gonna open the lid and kind of just like wipe away the things and then close the lid back down. And I'm looking around and I notice Tag's over there and I'm like, Tag?
Yeah, you see me holding perfectly still, facing directly like Cardinal West. You see small bits of chalk lines in front of my feet where like theorems have been written out, and standing perfectly still. I don't seem like I hear you.
Oh, yeah, you can't hear anything, right?
Well, I'm only astrally perceiving, but I'm just really focused. It's just RP. Like, it's just whatever is happening in the real world is not important to me right now. Like, I am dead set focused, like 100-yard stare, on something else.
You would notice that he reacts to the ever so slight twitch of someone who suddenly notices that you are. He knew you were there all along, but he now notices you are somewhat composmente, that you're actually like physically, mentally present. But he still is on guard, and you notice that it's the guard of someone in a military stance, although slightly different for an astral observer, and he is trying to protect you somehow.
Okay.
Without moving, she hears me say through the little respirator speaker or whatever, "Are you all right?"
I'm not sure. There's something I probably need to tell you.
You don't need to tell me, I know. Something attacked you last night. Something bad. And you've never heard me use terminology like that towards magic. Like, in general, when it comes to magic, I'm almost overly self-confident. Like, there are very few things that worry me, like in the magical world, because my entire life has just been... It's like you in the Matrix. You are comfortable there. In the astral and the magic world, I'm wearing my own skin. I don't know what it was, but it took me the better part of the night to dispel it. And it was strong. Very strong.
I'm gonna close comms and just talk to only Tag. Don't tell the others. But you
Sure.
might need to know more.
Okay.
My mother's in trouble. Might be similar fate as Erica? That's her name, right?
Mm-hmm. What do you know about my wife?
They were involved in a program called Transcendence. And the program was extended. I think they might have some magical aspects to them. They were using it to make people more magical or take magic away from people. I don't know all the details, but I've been searching for her and my father. They both used to work for Aztec, but they went missing when I was about 8, and I haven't seen them since.
Okay, Jade. Truth time. I was directly involved as a researcher with Transcendence as well. Something my parents worked on for a long time, and you'll remember that there was a pretty large info dump on Aztechnology, a leak 3 or 4 years ago. That, well, it gave their company a little bit of a black eye and made them look foolish. I might have been the researcher that leaked that before going underground and coming to London.
I got a hold of some of that information. Helped a lot.
Yeah.
Something I didn't tell you guys. My mother's being held here. And I'll send you video footage and like zoom in on her face.
Whatever the case, if they're still working on transcendence here, my concern is that if we go west, we are in over our heads. I can't guarantee the group magical safety, which is nothing I've ever had to say before. But if we go west, something real bad is over there.
Jay,
I don't know what it is, but...
Which image do you send to Tag? The one more recently?
Which image? Yeah, the one recently. The one where the blonde lady was taking her into the building and she was like handcuffed.
Tag, you vaguely recognize the picture. That person vaguely fits what you felt was being used as the other end of the link. Maybe not her herself, but maybe part of her, like a bit of blood or hair or whatever, can be used for that purpose, especially if it's fresh. A person may be better as well. But it's weird. You have a feeling that what you saw in the other end, her aura, she's sick, she's ill, she's tired, she's stressed, she's drained, but you also see a slight image of who she used to be. There's obviously modifications to her. She now has some cyberware, but she used to be nice. She used to be beautiful. She used to be a person who would be radiant to be around, who would fill people with joy, and would just brighten their day. And you get the feeling that she is just tired now.
When I was in the astral, was it her mother that attacked her, or was it somebody using her
Is
mother?
somebody using my mom?
No, she was being used as a link. Or something of her was being used as a link. But it would be literally something of her biological, or her herself. Anything would do, but the biological link would have to be fresh to be that good. It was a fresh link. It was a very good link, and that is why she was able to get such a high connection. Someone was riding that link, and you would feel pretty certain after seeing that person's come up later and stalk you that would probably be the same person.
So as Jade says this, and I see the picture, I go, okay. Whoever attacked you last night while you were sleeping, I'm assuming you didn't get any pleasant dreams in. There was a magical link between you and something very foul and corrupted to the west. A thin thread. It involved your mother. Whoever tried to attack you was using your mother as a reagent, or was using your mother as an astral connection, which is why they were able to so powerfully attack you. It took almost everything I had in order to dispel that link. I know you're going to want to go west after hearing that.
I
But
already
if
knew.
we go west, there's a strong chance we won't come back. A very strong. I don't know what this thing is, but I can fight it, but I'm going to lose.
Yeah. I knew that already. It came to me as her, but not. She was saying things to me, but I'm pretty sure it was to throw me off. She was saying that Lothware was using me and that I needed to stop them and to not expose them. That she was trying to protect me, but I know it's the opposite.
It makes sense. The spell that I cast
area was-
off was a...
Rotting around me, and it just wouldn't stop.
It makes sense. The spell that the link anyways, that I cast off was a mental manipulation spell of some kind. I can't tell you exactly what it was, but it's similar to what I use with the influence spell, but much, much more powerful. I'm not sure how we want to continue here. We're
we need
out of
to-
our depth.
I think we need to reach back out to our contact and see if we can get some backup. But
Yeah,
You
I'd
can?
be...
please don't share that part about my mother.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
She
I'm gonna
kinda
go
just,
find some soy calf, and with that, I walk out of the room.
and then Jade just kind of like sits up and like leans back on the wall and just kind of like just trying to like meditate or get back into her own mind.
Do you try and sleep tonight, Jade?
Yeah, I think she should try.
Make a willpower plus intuition roll. You get in some sleep. It's not a full rest, and you feel tired in the morning, but you do manage to get some rest. So you don't suffer from having no night's sleep, but you would need to rest sooner tomorrow.
Do I get any physical?
No, that doesn't happen with night's sleep. That needs attention or a full day of rest.
Okay.
So it's up to you if you want to do something about that. Tag can, of course, try and medicine you tomorrow as well. But Tag didn't sleep, Gatto sleeps, Deadbolt sleeps. All of you can have your edge refreshed. Regardless if you slept or not.
Okay.
Woot. Edgelord hype. Not that I didn't have any edge left over. Man, that was intense.
Not for you, maybe. You just had someone bothering me in my sleep. Just roll back over. No big deal.
And with that, we're going to end for today.
But we don't get to go west to a certain death.
We can dedicate an episode to it.
Oh, yeah, we can dedicate an entire episode to your deaths. There's 4 hours, 1 hour each, drawn out death scenes. I've got it all written, it's fine. My plan is coming together. So happy. That
All happening.
He's smiling, which horrifies me.
The connections
you
are
have no idea
connecting.
how long I've been planning this, and then Tag walks in, and just with the clutch, I sense a counterspell. Just because of the way it happened to be. If Tag was asleep, that clutch walk in, there is bonus karma coming.
I was
As a
hoping,
mage-
but I wasn't sure if it was possible. But I was hoping that he'd jump into the astral and just chase the line, go to the end
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
But
you
that
could've
probably
done
would have got
that.
him killed.
I
Not
wanted
in a
to see him
corrupted
do that,
wasteland.
actually.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I
that's
wanted to see
Nope.
that happen.
I wanted to see him just like in the space of 2 seconds, because you can travel at crazy speeds. Just arrive at the other end, like, "Hi, who the hell
No,
are you?"
as,
And then punch them in the face.
My astral combat is good, but I don't plan on ever going into the astral full until I get like a weapon focus, because at this point, going astral in the real world against something like that, like 8 hits on a counter spell just barely breaks whatever that was. That spell was a banger of a spell. Like that's a hell of a cast, because every counter spelling hit you get lowers the force of the spell by like 1 in a opposed test versus net hits. And so the fact of the matter is, with 8 counter spelling, the fact that it just barely snapped it, and on top of that,
In
it like,
fairness,
could burn
I
me
didn't
in
say
the
it
physical.
barely snapped it, but I said that 4 didn't, 8 did. So I can't tell you what the force was, but it was tough.
Yeah, it was a nasty spell cast, and anything that could put 8 hits down on a cast worries me as a mage, and I don't want to chase that down in the astral, because if it's that strong as a caster in the astral, it's probably no slouch either. And my physical form is probably the only thing protecting me right now from it if it's better than me.
Well, from your sensing, you know that he was a higher magic than you, but only just, so he was magic 7, and you know he had initiated once.
Yeah.
So you have that knowledge on hand.
Either
Also,
way,
it's
this
just
westward journey is
emotional.
going to be interesting.
Interesting's a good word for it. Driving towards the nuclear disaster? Yeah, it's a great idea. We have this wonderful map showing us where the brightest and most disgusting places are in the sacks. We're going straight towards the heart of it.
Well, we're going to the middle.
And that's where.
The one thing that's
We're not going
the brightest
all the way
color
where
in all
Evo
3
is, 'cause-
different charts.
We're not going to where Evo is. We're going where Metal is.
No. We're
We're going
going
west.
towards Evo. We're going towards west. Like, I'll ping it on the map.
Yeah, but which
Right
one?
there.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, this is bad though. My thing
Thought we
would
were
be
going
next
here.
week is going to be nasty. No,
We're
because
going
Real
south of the
Metal's
Guysphere.
yeah, Metal their agents have your mother, or at least something from your mother, in the west, and so I don't think there's any point going to their compound. We know that
Oh, I thought
Orichalcum
it was
handoff
here.
was to the west, and we know that your mother was to the west, and so it seems like all indications are going west. The villagers are being attacked from the west.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is coming from that spot, so that's where
Yeah,
we're headed.
and we just learned about Evo, so it's definitely right there.
It's gonna be bad. I'm not looking forward to this one. It's gonna be bad.
Sure you are. It's gonna be climactic instead of anticlimactic. It'll be exciting. You'll love it. I love it.
I do think we should put in a call to our employer. I think that's good business etiquette to let them know what's going on out here and give them the information we've gathered so far. Because I think somebody's gunning for Lawfare. They're looking to create some kind of awakened poison to kill a dragon. And so, at first I thought maybe they were trying to res. I mean, this is after show talk, but at first I thought they were trying to res Firewing.
Yeah,
but
that's
I don't
what
think
I thought.
that's
Remember?
the case. I think they're trying to create some kind of awakened toxin or some kind of awakened something to strike at the heart of Seder Krupp.
They're gonna
Especially
turn
since they
Lawfare
were
into
so
a toxic dragon.
It seems like they're desperate to convince Jade that Seder Krupp is up to no good. And if something that evil is trying to steer us away from Seder Krupp, it means that Seder Krupp, for once, if acting in their own best interest, seems to be acting in a benevolent way as a secondary objective. Like, it's acting in their best interest, but secondarily, it's probably a positive net effect on the world that they were that desperate with that powerful of a spell to try and turn us on Seder Krupp, so...
And if you look at the corruption that's happening, it's slowly coming to the east towards where Seder Krupp is located.
It's going to be bad. But, that's for next week.
Yeah. So, of course, if you have light, go check out the Twitter and the YouTube channel, especially for the VOD, which will be up in a couple of days. Do go and check out the subreddit, the Twitter, and, of course, the wiki. I know that someone's adding Tsar to the wiki right now, Abyssian. Thank you very much. I really appreciate people adding the wiki, like NPCs, etc., summaries and stuff, because it's great for people to go back and be able to like see, oh, wait, who's this NPC? Ah, yeah, okay, cool, and get the quick summary, because, I do a similar thing with my notes sometimes when I forget who someone is. But yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much to the community for doing that. Also, if you want to add an emote for our new batch of emotes, go to the subreddit and add them on the list there, because I will be sending that list over the next couple of days to the guy we've got doing emotes, and we can't afford to do emotes all the time, because getting a big batch of emotes costs quite a lot of money, but we're going to get professional, decent quality emotes, so put all the ideas in now, because there won't be another batch done for a while, so give us good ideas.
True that, yo.
But yeah, so thank you for watching. We'll go through...
If it hasn't been mentioned yet, one of them has to be the Unicorn. It has to be the Unicorn.
Yeah, a unicorn with like a rainbow coming out of its horn.
Not a rainbow.
There was a vote. Someone put up a straw poll for names, and the top one that they put was Unicorn Riders.
Yes!
I think the Unicorn emote should be... It should be the Unicorn, like, hiking his leg, and then we get the connection one, like, with the taco or whatever, where it shoots, like, a rainbow.
Oh dear. Anyway, we're going to go through who everyone is, where you can catch them, and then we're going to mention all the tips we got today in the messages, because there were a couple I saw. So we'll do that. I would just like to apologize for being ill as well, but we should be back on track now.
Yeah, how dare you be ill?
I know, right? It's a shame, because I was really hoping to get some more awesomeness in this episode.
If I've learned anything about living in America these days, is if you get sick, it's your own damn fault. And if you have a pre-existing condition, it means that we can't cover you. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you shouldn't be ill. Sucks to be you, right? How
Illness
dare you
is
be
a sign
ill?
of a filthy soul.
But Shen,
Oh my gosh, this poll name is ridiculous.
Oh?
They have a poll on the Reddit that has like names for our Shadowrun team.
Oh, nice.
Oh god.
Gatto, Shen, who are you? What are you doing? Where do you come from?
Well, hi, I am Shen, also known as Gato Alto. You can find me at youtube.com/Shenro2, where there's more than 7,000 videos there if you're interested in checking out some stuff dating back to 2009 even. Play games every day of the week. How many days are there in the week? Is it 8 days a week? 8 days a week, 8 hours a day from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. Lately, we've been playing Stellaris 1.6.1 patch, which is actually good. Oh my god. And finishing up Mass Effect Andromeda campaign, because that's been sitting on the side for too long. And also started a new game of XCOM Long War, and that shit's a lot of fun. What about...
Fixed 1.6.1? Because there was a bug where AIs couldn't declare war.
That was 1.6. Yes, 1.6.1
Okay.
fixes it.
Okay, cool.
And the other bad bug was because they were always at peace, they were constantly government shifting their ethics to pacifist, which means they would never declare war ever because they weren't allowed to declare war anymore. But now they've changed it. So I've seen in 1.6.1, I've seen them declare a lot of wars. I've also seen them go militarist. I've seen them go spiritualist. I've seen them go materialist. I've seen them just do the normal stuff. So yeah,
Cool.
they've certainly fixed that part of it.
Good, because I'll be playing that Tuesday. So.
What about Senor Splattercat?
Yeah, my name's Splattercat. I play games at youtube.com/SplatterCatGaming, where we're all about indie gaming all day, every day. Right now, we're playing a gaggle of survival games. Actually, weirdly enough, survival games hit heavy this week,
Gaggle.
which is great because lately it's just been platforming roguelikes and Metroidvanias, and it's just like, why are there so many Metroidvanias? I don't know. It's in season right now. So we're playing a game called Iced, which is like a Siberian like ice flow survival, almost like an Inuit, where you got to like ice fish and do all kinds of stuff like that. Pretty fun little title. Playing Moon Base, which is a space kitty on the moon trying to survive, building bases like Don't Starve style and stuff like that. And then just other random little things in there, here and there. Aside from that, on Twitch TV, you can see me at Splattercat Gaming playing lots of Player Unknown Battlegrounds, loads and loads of Player Unknown Battlegrounds. But that's it for me. Bentham, what are you up to?
I am Bentham, and over on YouTube, I am Mangleport Gaming, where I usually play some sort of Factorio things. Haven't done much recently. Also, Kingdoms and Castles, haven't done much of that recently. Soon I'll be back to it. I've got one more exam in the middle of next week, and then I'm free forever, hopefully.
Wait, what's the last exam?
I mean, what's it on?
Yeah.
It's on actions and how they relate to stuff. Perception of actions, usually.
Are you sure you're ready for this test?
Mostly. I'm going to start revising straight after this stream. But yeah, until then, there probably won't be any videos. Also, my favorite name so far on the team name poll is Tased and Confused. So
I like Pineapple. Was it Pineapple Punishers or something?
Pineapple Punishment is the top one.
Yeah.
Followed by
Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na.
We can't stop here. This is cat country.
Maggie, who you already doing? Where can we find you?
You can find me at Margaret Crone in all the places, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and yeah, I play a bunch of games on my channel, and I do vlogs on my YouTube channel, and I also do a bunch of roleplay stuff on twitch.tv/Initiative Show, as well as a couple other things that I have this week, but I'll let you guys know on social what those things are.
Yeah, how many games do you have going concurrently?
I have 6 RP weekly tabletop games.
How the hell do you keep track of that many characters in your head? Oh my god.
Don't judge me.
No, you've seen how like Maggie keeps like Word documents and spreadsheets full of plots and stuff and etc. I can only imagine like she's got a database of like characters and plots and everything. Like it must be like some sort of weird, beautiful mind map there.
I usually just, it's kind of more like a table of context, and then I just kind of, but I have like a different sheet for every show. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm Enterelysium. You can catch me over at youtube.com/Enterelysium, twitch.tv/Enterelysium. I put 2 videos a day, currently playing some Nautica and Galactic Civilization 3 Crusade. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. BST, 8 a.m. PDT. I also stream Forest later on Saturday. And this Tuesday we are going to be starting Star 1.6.1, really modded, loads of mods, and we're going to be playing as Cyber Raptors. They're going to be raptors who are going to be cybernetic, and they're going to try and make themselves even more robotic, because raptors are clever girls. So they're also a matriarchal society, because they have to be. That should be a load of fun. You can also catch us out here, by the way, on Fridays with our new show that started 2 days ago, Stars Without Number, which is kind of a...
Oh, it's so good. You guys have to check it out.
Yeah, if you want something a little bit less grim in a dark, complex setting, you want something a little bit more pink mohawk, something
less
like
grim. People like dying in space and shit, man.
Yeah, but we don't care. That's why it's not grim, because we're like, yeah, you died, YOLO. How that makes sense. You only live once. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to check something, basically Guardians of the Galaxy meets Firefly meets Farscape. That kind of thing. If you want to have something like that, that's a really good show to check out. It's a load of fun. been enjoying the first episode so much. I'm really looking forward to next week because we've got the continuation of this, which is getting interesting, and we've got Friday as well, which is also just starting up. So go check that out. But yeah, we will get to the tip messages. Also,
what we
it
got
just
today?
happened to be Mother's Day today.
Yeah,
No,
so happy,
no.
happy
It was a
Mother's Day
surprise
to all,
for everyone, right?
all the mummies out there.
They told us about it last night at like 10 p.m. No one was ready for it at all. Okay, so if you forgot about it, no worries.
But it's not Mother's
Expectations
Day over
can't be
here.
there.
It's for you guys. We've got a different Mother's Day.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
That's the
When's
thing,
your
we're-
Mother's Day?
We're confusing.
I think we've already had it, haven't we?
You think you've already?
It is the 11th of March.
He doesn't even remember.
So like 2 months ago.
This is the 11th of March next year. I don't know what it
I
was
see
this
it
year.
surprised you as well.
I just have it in my diary. I'm just like,
Forgotten it
I
by
don't
now.
remember that.
It's been and
It's
gone.
nice that
It's
you
been 2
tied
months.
in a mom into the episode, though.
Yeah, no, I deliberately did that. I totally deliberately did that. That was entirely intended. Anyway, today's tips. Falkberg donated $5. Still hoping for Blowback's comeback at the Russian brothel. His name already sounds like their daily special. Oh dear. Thank you very much, Falkberg.
You don't even have to pay extra. You don't have to pay extra because it's all like on the surface. It's all liminal.
Falkberg also tipped $1. Roll for Winky.
Oh God.
I'm pretty sure we won't be allowed that as an emote. I'm just saying that will probably get turned down.
Someone said there
I've
should be a
seen
time to penis emote.
I've seen some really surprisingly approved emotes, which is like, how did that sneak through? But that one's probably not going to make it.
No, it will not. Beldernick tipped $5. Thank you very much, Beldernick. And the Unspeakable donated $5. Stop being so nice. You're ruining my preconceptions of the party. This is true. The party were incredibly nice.
That's we're
Well,
playing
haven't
hoods
we
this
always
time.
are.
With such,
Haven't
like,
we always been
impoverished
incredibly nice?
I feel like we've always been
People.
good people. Like, all of us have done...
Yeah, it's just you've never been in a situation where
past.
I've managed to tug on your heartstrings quite so much.
It's true.
Like, my favorite NPC from today was the little girl, because I just got to tug on your heartstrings.
We're like, aww.
But yeah, thank you very much everyone who tipped, and everyone for supporting the show. Like, the only reason we can do this show at the end of the day is because we are addicted to role-playing games, and you enable us by providing us with the ability to do that via Patreon, via tips, via subscribing, and
First
of
off,
course,
you guys are
hits.
amazing. Thank you
So-
so much. Second off, like you said, you're enablers. So, think about these decisions you're making. We have a problem, and you guys are contributing to the problem at this
We
point.
don't need intervention. We need to get large enough to have a convention.
Yeah, you could make it so that we could just do this all the time.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So this as a small thing is a problem. It's a problem. But if it becomes a big thing, then it's acceptable. Then
No,
you're
it's a
good.
big thing. We can share it with other people, so our problem becomes their problem, at which point it becomes acceptable. Because they can't judge us.
I want to do a session where we're all together. Like, that would be fun. But I know that's a lot more money.
Yeah, we originally
We've
had that
talked
on
about
like the
that. Patreon goal.
extended
We've talked about that, yeah.
stretch goals, but the thing is we just looked at it and was like it'd be so expensive because we're all, across different sides of the ocean that it would be difficult to do. We still really want to do it, don't get me wrong, but it would be tough to do.
It has
If
to be
you
like
want
a
enable
higher
us that
tier
much.
Yeah, a higher tier Patreon thing.
Yeah,
but-
no, totally.
Plane journeys
Be
are
real
expensive. There's danger of being beaten up as well.
Yeah, no, if you go United. Like, as much as we want everyone to get here, we don't have to be like spending about 2 hours in makeup to get rid of the black eyes, so...
Not only do you miss your flight for getting pulled off the plane, but you also go to the hospital. Yeah, it's not a good.
Hey, at least if
not
you
a
go
good-
to the hospital here, like you get your flight and then get beaten up on the way out, it's free. If you get beaten up in the
Why are we getting
US...
beaten up? Are you doing like Shadowrun IRL? Like, what's happening?
So those United flights, they get dangerous. You got to make those body
that's true.
checks. You'd be looking at them soaked ice.
I think they
Benjamin's
just...
gonna have like
accommodate
a fear of flying IRL also.
Yeah, you got to take unarmed skill before you get on there.
Yeah, no, Splat, after trying to fly over here, I want you in real life to take the phobia of flying at medium level. I'm not going to give you any karma for it. But
Already
yeah,
there. I hate flying. Flying's the worst.
There
I
we go,
love
and that's
flying.
why we're raising the amount to do this IRL. But yeah, no, it's completely like you folks like enable us, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like this is entirely possible because of you guys. So thank you so much, especially since this week I've absolutely loved Stars Without Numbers launch. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it so much. And today I really enjoyed it. I think we've got a great cast dynamic. I think everyone's amazing. And thank you so much for being in a great community. So thank you very much. We'll be back next week on Friday with Stars Without Numbers, and then Sunday with Shadowrun. But until then, we're all safe.
Ta-ta!